Welcome back into Rounding Third Baseball, episode 328, The Passing of a Legend. I'm Nick, and we have Harrison tonight. How are we doing tonight, Harrison?
Fantastic, Nick. How we doing?
Pretty good. Considering, this was a pretty hard hit for baseball, Braves country. But yeah, we all know who Bobby Cox is and was on the baseball field, and we'll get into it. But it was a tough one yesterday, I think, around baseball for sure.
Yeah, that news was definitely was shocking. It was not expected at all, and kind of took me a minute to process.
Yeah. So we will get into it, but first, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow on Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We also have our affiliate sponsors, Logitech, MLB Shop, and Lids. You can find these links on the tops of all of our socials. So if you do any shopping with these companies, please use our links as we get a nice little kickback with no additional cost to you. Just a great way to support the show. Also, we have Rounding Third merchandise. We got sweatshirts, t-shirts, tumblers. We got phone cases. Look pretty sweet. I know you want one of those. So check us out there. Great way to get our name out there and to support us. And finally, on Patreon, it is a platform that actually supports creators. So you can sign up for a subscription. You can be free, or there's paid subscription that also comes with some pretty cool benefits. So check us out over on Patreon, and we are streaming there as well. So check us out there. All right, here we go. Hall of Famer Bobby Cox passes away. 2,504 and 2001 win-loss record. That's a lot of freaking baseball games. 5 pennants, 4 managers of the year. Baseball Reference has him as 161 career ejections. I thought it was a full season myself, but I went by Baseball Reference stats. And then we all know the one World Series. Either way, 161, 162. It's a lot of ejections. But
It's a lot.
As somebody that grew up watching the Braves on TBS every night, it was Bobby Cox and Leo Mazzoni rocking back and forth in that dugout, just managing that juggernaut of a Braves team. Tough one for baseball for sure.
I mean, brutal for baseball. I mean, as tough as Bobby Cox was, as rated R as he was, as as hot tempered as he could be. There's very few guys in baseball that had better command of a team, better command of grown men, better command of the game, was more respected in that generation than Bobby Cox. I mean, it hurts all of us that the Braves didn't win more when he was there. They had so many chances to and just couldn't quite get it done. Obviously, that's not necessarily his fault, but it kind of follows him that they only had the one World Series. But he was such an incredible in-game manager, a clubhouse manager. He could give you a pat on the back or a kick in the head depending on what you needed. And the way that players have talked about him since his passing, it's so much love for a man who could be incredibly, incredibly tough to play for, but demanded the best out of you, and he sure as hell got it.
Yeah. I love all the clips going around, right? I think there's the Braves roundtable one. It's like Chipper, Greg Maddux, Smoltz, Glavine, Bobby Cox is there, and they're just telling manager stories of like what was your favorite ejection, and they had some great ones there. I love when he threw out the first pitch. It might have been last year, the year before. He throws it in and goes in, and the umpires go in and shake his hand, and then they throw him out, like just joking around. But man, I just it was a tough one. But from what I gather, like Braves fans kind of expected this to come, but it doesn't make it any easier. Just an absolute baseball icon. It's a tough one.
Yeah, I feel like Bobby Cox is kind of like the Bill Belichick of MLB. I think from the outside, he seems like he's a jerk. Seems like he's a guy that wants nothing to do with anybody. Just wants to be left alone to play the game. What you find out is he's actually got a great personality. He's a fun guy. He isn't doing this for the media. He isn't doing this for the sound bites. The players love him. That was always his focus. He wasn't trying to win any miscongeniality contests by being everybody's friend and being the media's friend. He did what he had to do with the media, and he gave his attention to the players. And I think that's what's most interesting is that the media doesn't necessarily love him. They don't remember him as fondly, but the players, the outpouring of love and support for Bobby Cox, I even found it surprising. I thought you'd have more players that would kind of be quiet because he was tough to play for. He absolutely demanded a certain level and he had an expectation and he would ride you. But I think guys appreciated it for what it was. And because of that, although he might have been tough to play for, they loved him for everything he did for him.
Yeah, I think that it's the perfect storm. It was the perfect generation for him to manage, right? Like those guys did need a swift kick in the butt, and those guys could take it. Now, would his managing style may translate to today's game? I don't know if it would, just because I don't think these guys in today necessarily take that kick in the butt well, right? It's like, oh, daddy's yelling at me kind of mentality. Where
Yeah.
back then it was like, oh, if Bobby's mad at me, I'm doing something wrong. I need to fix it. Right. There's a little
Yeah.
bit of a mental switch there.
Yeah. Back then, there was no doubt who ran that team.
Right.
There's no question. Bobby Cox ran that organization and ran that roster with an iron fist.
Yeah.
He loved you and he wanted the best from you, but he absolutely demanded you gave him everything you had. And because of that, there were many players that came out and said, like, I owe my career to this man because when I needed it most, he dragged every bit out of me that I had. And I think, like, I love to be coached hard.
Hmm.
And my high school coach was great at tearing me up and building me back up. And like that was great for me. I needed the challenge. I needed something to reach for. And a lot of players don't respond to that. They crater. I think as much as this generation of ball player can't handle, it's what they need.
Right.
Like Alex Cora didn't work because he was too soft on the players. Bobby Cox ruled with an iron fist. Maybe he's too much now, but you need to be more Bobby Cox and less Alex Cora. Like a team like the Phillies needs a guy like this to go
Yes.
in there and grab him by the throat and wake him up. And that was what Bobby Cox did. Like he gave you what you needed when you needed it, and it wasn't always pretty.
Yeah. And he wasn't over the top with it. Like you said, like he didn't have to tear them down a lot. But
No.
when he did, he chose his spots, right? So when he did, he got what he needed out of those players. Right? It's in there. I'm gonna get it out of you. This isn't me all the time, but man, like
Yeah.
it's
And I'm pretty sure it's Maddox tells the story of Bobby going to him before game saying, Greg, I'm gonna rip into you in the clubhouse. I need you to play along. I need these guys, I need to wake these guys up. And he like absolutely tore Maddox up and down in the clubhouse. The whole team woke up, they rallied and took the rest of the series. But like it was all set up.
yeah,
Like he set it up to tear Maddox apart to boost the team and get those guys rallied and going. So
just brilliant.
he,
It's
it's
brilliant.
this thing. He knew what strings to pull, and like I said, it wasn't always pretty. There's a lot of stories of him just tearing guys apart, and it didn't necessarily go well. But he knew what levers to pull and when they had to get pulled. And that was the brilliance of Bobby Cox.
Yeah. Yeah, Ted Turner also passing this week. Pretty crazy,
Yeah,
but yeah,
brutal.
yeah, Jason, who has the 9521 Braves podcast, he chimes in and says he gave them confidence by treating them like men and professionals. And that's exactly it. That's what we're saying, right? He has the respect that, hey, if Bobby is telling me something in a dad voice, I
Yeah,
better listen, right? Because either I did something wrong or he's trying to pull something out of me. But that is very much you have to have a relationship with a guy or with anybody really to be able to do that. If you don't have that foundation of a relationship, you can't tear somebody apart and be like, oh, well, who's this clown? No, you have to have a foundation of a relationship with these players in order to coach in that capacity. So,
yeah, totally right. If you go tear a guy down that you don't have that kind of relationship with, where they can take it, um, yeah, that's a quick way to absolutely push somebody far, far away.
yeah, absolutely. So,
But I've loved the stories that have come out, the amount of love for Bobby Cox, and how many guys said basically that, like, I got from him what I needed when I needed it. Like,
mhm,
it wasn't all, there was tough love, there was real love, but like he knew what I needed when I needed it.
yeah, absolutely. And you can't think about the Braves in the 90s without Bobby Cox being in that group of Hall of Famers.
Yeah, he was a
I mean,
different cat, and we won't see another Bobby Cox ever again.
no. Absolutely not. So, R.I.P. in peace, Bobby Cox.
Yeah, huge loss to the baseball world.
Absolutely. All right, let's get on to some current guys here. Murakami. We're talking about this guy every week, it seems. 8 straight series openers with a homer. So that means they start a new series. He starts the series off with a homer. In game 1 of each series, 8 straight. He beats Eddie Murray's record of 7. This guy is continuing to hit the ball out of the ballpark at a regular clip. Does this pace keep up? We keep thinking it's going to fade. It still hasn't faded. So, what are we thinking?
I mean, I just keep looking at his stat line. I can't make any sense of this guy. It absolutely cracks me up. So let's go. He is currently on a 245 strikeout pace for the year.
Mm-hmm.
He has 32 hits on the season, 1 double, 15 home runs. The guy's power is undeniable. Like, but his contact is awful. But when he catches one, good luck. I mean, look out in the bleachers because that thing is coming in hot.
Yeah.
I can't figure this guy out. The stat line is just absurd. It looks so foolish, but he he's coming as advertised. There's a lot of swing and miss. There's a lot of power, but there's not a lot in between. And I think for the White Sox, this is great. They need a guy that can give them a shot of energy when they need it. I think on a lot of teams, he's still a pass because that's hard to work with, and that's why a guy like Schwarber is kind of hard to work with because he is effectively just another Kyle Schwarber. I will say the difference is Murakami's got much more swing and miss than Schwarber and doesn't walk quite as much. But he's 100% a very similar player to Schwarber. And I think that's challenging for some teams, but he's been great for the White Sox because he's given them, they now have a threat in the middle of the lineup. It makes that lineup deeper. And he gives them a shot of energy at the right time. It's unique. He's having a very unique season.
Yeah. And Carl says he's more Schwarber than Schwarber is. Awesome.
I mean, he is like he's taking what Schwarber does and almost like now amplifying it a little bit, like even more aggressively, more strikeouts, more power. You know, the stat line is just weirder.
Right. And Curtis says 60 home runs, 116 RBIs is his projection. Slugger, not a hitter, rookie of the year. Yeah, I think it's interesting, right? Because he has so much swing and miss in his game that pitchers are going to attack him, right? And kind of roll the dice, if you will, right? Can I get him to strike out here 3 times? Or do I give up the bomb? I'm going to take my chances and attack him. So like the swing and miss, as weird as this might sound, almost helps him get to the power numbers, right? Because pitchers are coming after him because he does strike out a ton. So he's gonna get pitches to hit because he misses them more than he hits them. But man, when he hits them, they're loud.
Yeah, I mean he is very much the true outcomes guy. Like that's who he is. There's nothing in between.
No, one double is crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the stat line. It's 169 plate appearances, 139 at bats, 1 double, no triples, 15 home runs, and 32 hits. I mean, he literally is like he's the true outcomes guy because he has nothing in between.
I saw homers. That's nuts.
I mean, I saw somebody compare him to Joey Gallo, and there's a lot of similarity the way he and Gallo play too. Like he's a Gallo Schwarber, kind of cut out of that same cloth.
Yeah.
But it's weird. Like his stat line is weird. And his at-bats are, I mean, a lot of his at-bats aren't even competitive. Like he just goes up there, flail, and he's back in the bench.
Yeah.
Because he's got one speed, but he leads the AL in strikeouts, leads the AL in RBIs, leads Major League Baseball in home runs. That's who he is. Like that. Mm-hmm. I think that's who he's going to be.
Yeah. Jason says you got to hope the contact gets a little better as he sees MLB pitching, but this could just be who he is. And 1,000%. John goes, is he the kid that only hits homers? I mean, probably.
Seems like it.
Carl says he's a 2 true outcome hitter, strikeout or homer. Schwarber is the 3. Yeah, because he walks, right?
I mean, Murakami's got 29 walks in the year. I mean, he walks at a pretty good clip, not quite at at Schwarber's clip, but a pretty good clip. That's a lot of for a guy hitting 230. He's got a 360 OBP.
Yeah, so decent. Yeah, he might have my favorite stat line ever for sure. I mean,
wild.
It's absurd.
Every time I look at it, I just shake my head. I'm like, this can't be real. Like, this is like a video game stat line.
Yep. Gallo's defense was elite, though.
Don't get Nick started on this one.
I don't really want to get on that one, but I mean,
Gallo was a good defender, but
yeah. He's not playing a bad first base, though, considering he hasn't really been over there a ton. You know, he was in Japan and he was a third baseman. He's made that transition over to first. All right. The games I've watched, he's been picking them over there. So,
yeah, he's basically a league average first baseman. His zone rating is a 0. Like, he's exactly on league average.
Perfect. That's all I really need. I don't need anything more than that, really. If he's going to hit 60 bombs in a year, like, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, his defensive run saved is 0. His total zone is 0, and his fielding percentage is exactly on the league average. I mean, he is. You couldn't draw a more league average defender than Murakami.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah, Carl says Rob Deere, Jack Cust, a couple of those other guys that just hit the ball really far, but only when they hit it.
Pedro Serrano.
Yeah, right.
Nick's favorite answer.
Absolutely. 5th favorite, by the way. Joey Gallo, one trick pony. Yeah. So I don't know. Just again, just to add to the weird start of the MLB season, this is just another one of those weird starts just because of the stat line. But,
well, and I think he's coming as advertised. You know, we heard a lot about a lot of swing and miss, a lot of power, you know, a little bit of a challenging fit. And I think he's proving to be exactly that. I just think the difference is he's delivering the power we all wondered if he'd actually have when he transitioned. But I think he's kind of coming as advertised. And I think the rest of the league's looking around going, okay, like, we certainly missed on this guy. Like, we were afraid of the downside. And when in reality, the downside's bad, but there's also a decent amount of upside there. And for some teams, a thumper like that is what they're missing.
Yeah. I think my wake-up call was when they were in the desert playing the Diamondbacks, and he hit that ball to dead center just to the right of the Jumbotron that had to have gone like 450, 460, and I was
God, it was crushed.
Wow. That is
I've never seen a ball so far up that.
Yeah, that was a big boy dinger. I was like, okay, this kid's legit power for sure.
Yeah, he hit one down the line. Was it in Houston? That I'm pretty sure like might have been up in that upper tank. It was unreal.
Crazy. So we'll obviously be keeping an eye on him. Schwarber-Kami. I love that.
Schwarber-Kami.
Whatever.
We got to get some shirts made. Schwarber-Kami.
I love that. But yeah, interesting to watch. And he makes the White Sox palatable to watch and their young kids that they got going. So,
well, and there's something to be said for the fact that he comes to town and this team is all of a sudden competitive. You know, granted, you got Colson Montgomery for a whole year, but I think he's been a good addition for the White Sox, given where they're at. I think he's what they needed.
Yeah, 1,000%. All right, Jacob Mizorowski sets the record 102.7 miles per hour record on a strikeout for a starter, beating Skubals by 1/10 of a mile per hour. I mean, whatever, but still. This dude was throwing absolute gas against the Yankees. Yankees got swept by the Brewers this weekend. Does he last? Does this elbow hold up?
No.
Is Mizorowski top 5 pitcher right now?
Mizorowski is definitely a top 10 pitcher, maybe a top 5 pitcher in baseball. Does that arm hold up? No way. With the frame he's got, there's no way that arm holds up. And the way he, like in that Yankees game, the way he was dialing up the fastball, every time he threw one of those, I cringed. Like, poor Spencer Jones gets up there, it's like 102, 102, then a breaking ball, and the poor kid's done. But he just kept dialing the velocity up, and there's no way that arm lasts. He's not a big frame kid, not a lot of meat on his bones, and those guys always break down.
Yeah.
You know, Tyler Glasnow, tall, skinny kid that throws hard. Like, those guys always break down.
Yeah. Yeah. Jason says, I hate it, but it's only a matter of time. And it sucks as baseball fans that we think about all of these guys that throw triple digits. It's just like just like you said, Harrison, right? We cringe. It's like, oh, 102 on the gun, and then you immediately like shoot your head back to the mound to see if his arm's just hanging by a thread, right? I mean, yeah, Michael, I smell a TJ in a few months, 1,000%, and it sucks that baseball is at that point, but
I mean,
man, oh man,
Mizorowski's 6'7", 201. He's 201 pounds at 6'7".
it's crazy.
There's no meat on his bones.
Yeah, he can hide behind a broomstick and be fine.
Aaron
Yeah.
Judge is 6'7", 282.
Yeah.
And well built. And then you got Spencer Jones, who's also 6'7", and he's 240. Like this, Mizorowski is a small, slight-framed guy. Super tall, super skinny. There's no way on earth that arm isn't going to come flying off at some point.
I just want to know, when did the MLB start drafting NBA players? I mean,
I don't know, man.
6'6", 6'7". These guys are monsters all of a sudden. It's like, yeah. Ed, we've been watching to see if he hit the IL yet. I think that's all of our pitchers, right? I mean, Red Sox, we're looking at them. It's like, well, they're all down, right? I don't know. I'm flustered. It's just all the top guys are down. Scooble's down. Crochet's down. It's only a matter of time before all these guys hit the IL at some point in the season.
Yeah. Well, and at what point does MLB like push the panic button and go, okay, guys, like we can't have all of our star power on the IL. Like this is bad for the game to have all of the star power on the IL. I mean,
yeah.
If I'm Rob Manfred, like I'm starting to look at that IL and cringe and like sweat a little bit that I've got all these top notch, TV and ticket selling people sitting on the IL.
But how do you fix it? I know we talked a little bit about it last week. Like if you got rid of guaranteed contracts, which will never happen, but would that change everybody's mindset? If you made it an incentive base where it's like, hey, I need 30 starts out of you, and that's your incentive for this year.
Yeah, I absolutely think the guaranteed contract obviously puts no risk on the player. But if you're offer a guy $1 million per start, guaranteed he's going to find a way to drag himself out there for 33 starts to make his money.
Yeah.
But they'd have to pitch differently.
Right. Jason asks, is there an argument to be made that if you have a guy like this, you just make him a closer, limit the number of times he throws, and maybe extend his career? I mean, yes. I mean, but at this point, Tommy Johns are just oil changes for these guys at this point. Like they know what's coming. I only got 3,000 miles on my, on my arm, pardon the analogy, and then it's time for an oil change. I mean, I hate it. Right. But gone are the days of, Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, Greg Maddux, the guys that go all nine and don't think twice about it. Right.
But
gone are those days.
If you watch a guy like Randy Johnson, like Randy Johnson's motion, his whole, like everything in the rotation of his body was very fluid. He didn't put a lot of strain on his arm. He had the big leg drive, the hip mobility, and then the arm just kind of followed. You watch a guy like Mizorowski, and he has got so much effort to generate that velocity because he's coming from up over the top versus just slinging it like Johnson did.
Yeah.
I think the mechanics are different. The approach is different. And Randy Johnson was so fluid where most of these guys just aren't that fluid. They're just muscling up.
Yeah.
To throw that hard. It's different. That's why these guys go down.
Mm-hmm. Michael says they need to learn to pitch, not throw, pitch. And there's a huge difference, right? We have a bunch of throwers in the MLB. We don't have many pitchers left.
Yeah. And I think to get back to Jason's point, though, could you make him a closer and extend his career? Absolutely. But, to use a real estate term, the highest and best use of this guy is as a starter. And if that means his career's over in 5 years, I don't think the Brewers care. And I don't, no. I think teams are at the point now, they view pitchers as you are consumable goods. You're going to be here for a little while and then not. And that's okay. Right. We're going to get every ounce of production we can get out of you while you're here and then discard you. And we're fine with that. Because most of these guys don't have the career of a starting pitcher is not like it used to be. These guys are very much consumable or disposable. After 5, 6, 7 years, most of these guys are about done. and then they're just kind of hanging on.
It's a great point because now you look at the guys that have been in the league for a while. What have they learned how to do? They've learned how to pitch. If you are just a thrower, your career, like you said, it's over in 5 or 6 years, maybe 8 if you're lucky, right? But really only 5 years of playing time if you've lasted that 8, but
Right.
whatever. You know, but the guys that have hung around, Verlander has completely changed his arsenal because he's, 40 years old, but he's learned how to pitch. Max Scherzer is definitely not the pitcher that he was, right? These guys that are, pushing 40 have learned how to pitch. And that says something about the state of what pitching is in right now. These guys are throwers until they're 30 and either make the adjustment to become a pitcher or your career's over. Your choice.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many ways you can go here, but until MLB stops rewarding these guys that throw hard and get hurt, everybody's going to want to do it. And still, like, everybody's still we talk about all the time, the Tyler Glasnow interview. Like, would you change your approach? No, this is what gets me paid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get paid because I throw hard and I strike guys out. I'm not changing that. And if that means every few seasons I'm out with an injury and I'm getting my arm cut open, okay, sign me up.
Yeah. This is another great point, Jason. In the 90s, NFL had a rash of injuries to star QBs. They adjusted the rules to protect them. But how do you do that in the MLB? Something needs to happen. I completely agree. But like you said, what? How? I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah. And it's really hard because the incentive structure is all based upon velocity and strikeouts. Those are the magic things. And that's all these guys care about. And they're not thinking about, what's it going to be like when I'm in year number 10. They're thinking about, how do I get that first? How do I get that big contract?
Yep.
And that's all they care about.
John, great point here. Team control has a lot to do with the timeline too, 1,000%. Mike Reed says the only way you could get incentive-based contracts to make sure that they get 28 to 33 starts is by having all the owners agree, and then that opens up suing for collusion. Yeah. Nolan Ryan needs to give seminars, 1,000%.
But again, like, the seminar is have good mechanics and learn how to pitch. Nobody wants to do that, though.
Right.
Like, Curtis, you're totally right. Nolan Ryan is like the perfect example. A guy who had like literally no arm injuries in his career and threw hard. Like, threw really freaking hard.
Right.
And struck a few guys out along the way.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to hear what he has to say. Until you stop paying guys for injury-riddled production, they're just going to keep doing it.
Yep.
Because think about it. If you can make $100 million and your career is over in 7 years, or you can make $100 million and your career lasts 20 years, I'd rather take the $100 million, work 7 years, and retire. Like, to most of these pitchers, they're not. If I'm not pitching anymore at 33 years old, I don't care. If I got my 9-figure deal, then I'll just walk off into the sunset.
Yeah.
There's no incentive for these guys to feel like they need to play into their mid to late 30s anymore.
Yeah. Mr. Clams and John Carter, both kind of the same thing. Nolan Ryan was an absolute unicorn. You can't compare him to anyone else. And yeah, we get it. But John says, best example to me was CC Sabathia with 98 miles an hour when he was young, finished throwing 92, 93, and a pitcher, 1,000%.
Yep. So. Yeah, he added breaking pitches. He became a location guy. And I would say that CC was even more effective later in his career. He ate a ton of innings.
Yep.
But he got a lot of guys out and he got quick outs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, like, going back to Jason's point, I don't know what the fix is. I don't know how you get everybody on board because it's a frame of mind. It is just how they view pitching. How do you get the entire league to just turn on a dime and do the complete opposite? I don't think it's coming anytime soon.
No, this isn't going to change at least in the next decade.
No,
like, the entire youth pipeline is full of guys that want to be this guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wild. But yeah. All right, let's switch to the Mariners for a little bit. Luke Raley, kind of really only the bright spot for the Mariners at this point. First player this year with a 7+ RBI game. He has 8 homers this year, so he's kind of stepped it up a little bit for struggling. Did I say struggling?
No,
Mariners
I
offense.
didn't hear you mention struggling.
Okay, yeah, Mariners are not playing great baseball. How are we feeling about the Mariners as a whole at this moment?
Your statement, the Mariners not playing great baseball, is the nicest thing somebody said about them in like 2 weeks. That team outright sucks. They are terrible. Luke Raley's like the whole offense for, I mean, literally many nights. Um, I can't watch them anymore. I just want to break things. Their approach is awful. Their contact is awful. The execution is awful. The offense is terrible. And their pitching is still really, really good. And they just waste it night after night after night. The Mariners are right back to where they were 2 years ago when we were screaming to go get a bat. Last year we screamed to go get a bat and they finally did. This year they cannot hit water if they fell out of a boat. It is really putrid.
Yeah,
And we're 39 or 40 games into the season, and they're showing no signs of improvement.
yeah, and that puts a lot of stress on your pitching staff, right? It puts a
Yeah.
lot of stress on your bullpen. It puts a lot of stress on your starters because it's like, hey, I have to be perfect right now because my offense isn't in a spot to bail us out if we have a bad outing. Yeah, Raleigh and Crawford can't hit. We have some avid Mariners fans that just blow us up in the messengers because they're just like, I can't take it anymore. Help me. And I was like, I got nothing for you, man. I just, man, it is tough baseball to watch right now for sure. Yeah, and somehow they're the only team to win a series with Atlanta. Eek. That's baseball for you.
It is, and there was it was a little fluky, and they got a couple of things to go their way at the right time. But I honestly think the worst thing that's ever happened to Cal Raleigh is last year.
Yep.
He looks like he is just trying to go yard every time he swings the bat. And was it a couple nights ago? He struck out on a pitch. He must have missed it by 1.5 feet. Like it wasn't even close. I'm not sure what he was swinging at.
Like Jose Altuve swinging
No,
at that.
not that bad. But I mean, it was a fastball, and he was like, it must have been a foot and a half over the top of it. I'm not even sure what he was swinging at.
Yikes.
And then it was even worse was Emerson Hancock gave up a home run the other night, and you could see it on his face, like he knew that was the backbreaker. And they went down to like 3-1 in that game because of the home run. And the look on his face when the camera panned back was it looked like he just gave up the game because he knew it. He knew they weren't coming back, and that reaction says everything you need to know because the pitching staff knows the offense ain't going to come bail him out. Like if I make a mistake, it's game over, and you just can't do that.
Yeah, this is a great point, Forrest. Yeah, but they're in the AL, so they have a shot even if they're 3 games under 500. You're not wrong.
It's sad but true. I mean, the AL is so bad that the Mariners are a half a game out of the wild card right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's terrible.
Harrison, I'm asking you, what's the worst analysis? Awful or terrible? Which one's worse?
Putrid to me is the worst. Awful and terrible are very, very bad. Putrid is the lowest level of those.
John, I am talking to John Temple. Okay, I talk to him every day in Messenger. It's
more of a wellness check these days.
Yeah, he's doing all right. I put all right in quotes, but yeah, I could probably put our conversation on our page and we would get some hits on it.
Was today the great. I'm effing done with this team? Was that today?
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, whoa, okay, we're hitting that point already.
Yeah, we're yeah. And this is a great point, Ed. And I don't know where I put Julio Rodriguez. Ed says sick of them waiting for their center fielder to wake up every July. And Julio Rodriguez shows flashes of brilliance for 2 or 3 games. You know, he gets 2 or 3 homers, he's driving in runs, and then all of a sudden he's nowhere to be found for a month. I still love him because I think defensively he brings a lot to your team, right? And he is a threat at the plate, but I mean, does Julio Rodriguez ever get to a balanced, a stable kind of output? I haven't seen it yet.
No, it's who he is. And he is, and it's a good point because I was going to bring him up. he drives me crazy because of the inconsistency. But the inconsistency comes from him tinkering. His batting stance and his approach changes night to night. Like if you watch him, like his foot, he'll be a little more closed tonight, a little more open the next night. Feet are closer together, feet are farther apart. He is constantly trying to figure it out. Versus just what was it Pete Rose used to say? Like you don't ever change your swing. You got to the big leagues, but when you're
Right.
slumping, maybe you move back or forward or out or in. Like you don't change your swing. But Julio is constantly like tinkering. Like if you watch the film 1 week to the next, it's different. He's not consistent because he's always trying to like figure out what works versus just sticking with it.
Yeah. And that guy makes me upset, right? He goes 17 for 19 in a weekend. What was it? 2 summers ago. He goes 17 hits in like a 4-game series, right? And then he goes 0 for August. And you're just like, wait, what just happened, dude? You know, I don't Julio's a younger Byron Buxton.
I mean,
yeah,
you're not wrong. I mean, he is so insanely streaky. But again, like he's that guy that for like 2 weeks, he'll carry the whole team and then he'll disappear.
Yep. Dumpster fires post pick of the Mariners and say, well, at least we aren't them. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it is just it's not pretty over there. I have a lot to say about my Red Sox. I'm really not in a great place to talk about it.
We don't talk about them anymore.
Yeah, but the Mariners are in the same boat. It's that team batting average is atrocious. It's so not great. Yep, and Nico, this is a great point. Julio has no discipline at the plate. It's all raw talent. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nobody that chases more bad pitches than that guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's frustrating. I mean, I watched him strike out in a slider a couple nights ago that had to have been at least a foot off the plate. Like it wasn't close.
Yeah.
And we saw it in the playoffs last year. His Ks were constantly pitches off the plate in big moments.
Yeah, crazy. But we will see. But good for Luke Raley actually being kind of one of the only bright spots for that team right now. So
he's the only guy consistently putting bat on ball.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the sad part. You can't rely on anybody right now in that lineup to do that but this guy.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Alek Thomas DFA'd by the Diamondbacks. Where does he go? He's going to find a job, right?
I mean, somebody's going to take a flyer on him, but he hasn't been good in 3 years. It's been just a long slide for him.
Yeah, I'd say since the 2023 World Series run.
Yeah.
I don't think he's really found it.
And in the 03 season, he hit 230 with 9 and 39. Like he wasn't great. Like his high water mark isn't great. He's one of those guys. He is he's a Jackie Bradley Jr. Mm-hmm. He's going to play really good defense for you. His offense is going to be not exciting. He'll have moments where he looks great and moments where he looks like he's totally lost up there. And I feel like in today's game, and don't get me wrong, I love JBJ. I mean, hell, Pete Crow Armstrong put JBJ on his Mount Rushmore of center fielders. I love JBJ, but in today's game, there's no place for guys like JBJ. Like they don't want the defensive specialists. They don't want the guys that don't hit but can play defense.
Yeah,
there's just no space for them anymore. So I'm sure somebody will take a chance on him. He'll probably get a minor league deal and go to somebody's AAA and see if he can't work on his offense. But he just reminds me a lot of Jackie Bradley Jr. Great defense, not a lot of bat, streaky at times, but he really is. He's out there for his defense, and it's hard to do that in today's game.
Yeah, they did call up Ryan Waldschmidt. He made his MLB debut, got a hit in his debut. He's playing center field for them now. I mean, I will miss watching Alek Thomas roam Chase Field center field. I mean, he could track some balls down with him and Corbin Carroll on that right side, man. Whew. Not many balls got down in the gaps out there. But
no.
Yeah, very streaky hitter. He could hit it out of the ballpark. He could hit gaps, but then he's like gone for a month and a half. Diamondbacks did try to tweak his swing. He had a big leg kick. They got him to lower the leg kick to try to get more contact because he's fast as hell. But
he is.
Just can't get the bat on the ball.
Can't do it. The Red Sox tried the same thing in JBJ. They tried to get him to go to the opposite field more often. They tried to get him the ball on the ground more often. he's offensively limited, and that's really, really hard in today's game to get away with that.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I do think this was the right decision for the Diamondbacks. I love Alek Thomas, but if you're gonna have a guy hit 200 or less, let it be one of your 23-year-old minor leaguers, not a guy with 5 years experience.
yep.
It
Agree.
makes sense. Just if somebody's gonna struggle, let it be a young guy getting some seasoning.
Yeah. Yeah. Forrest says I would have bought a ticket just to see JBJ in the outfield, 1,000%. And then Michael backs it up. If he's JBJ, then he's going to Banana Ball. It's an option. It's an
It could
option.
be. I mean, I've seen JBJ live many times. I've never, and I've also seen Griffey live. I've still never seen a guy play center field like JBJ.
No.
The ground that guy covered, the catches that guy made, and obviously we know Griffey was a decent center fielder in his time,
Yeah, he was okay.
but JBJ was a monster out there. There was nothing he couldn't get to.
No. It was crazy. But
It was absurd. It was. I mean, that guy covered so much ground, and that damn triangle at Fenway. Nobody played it better than him.
no. So where could you possibly see Alek Thomas going? Which team would
If
take a flyer on him?
I mean, if I'm a team like if I'm a team like the Cardinals or the Pirates or the Guardians, maybe even the Rays, who are like, I wouldn't mind having a guy that can play really good defense for me and hit a little bit, and maybe I can find something to help him out. I would take a flyer on him. I don't think he'd be a good fit for a more experienced roster because there's just no room for him. But I do think some of your teams that are younger, even like a team like the Rays, he'd be a good option for because there is upside there. You just have to, you got to find a way to unlock it. And I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So this puts him on waivers, right? And then he's got to clear all the 30 MLB teams to come back to the Diamondbacks. Then they can send him down with no penalty, right? They don't have to necessarily trade him. They can just put him right down in AAA.
Correct.
Yeah. So
yeah, if he fully clears waivers, then he can accept a minor league assignment if he chooses to.
right.
Or they can also just outright release him, which is probably what they're going to do. I can't imagine they're going to send him down.
Yeah.
But they could.
Yeah. All right. The Cubs. Second 10-game winning streak. Are we buying the Cubs yet, Harrison?
I mean, they've won like 19 straight at Wrigley or something like that. Did I see that the other day?
Yeah, it was some streak like
something
that's
absurd.
crazy.
I mean, I don't know what to make of this Cubs team. They're not this good. Like that roster is not this good. But they are finding ways to win, which is also hard to argue, hard to deny that. So, am I buying the Cubs yet? I mean, I always thought they were a playoff team and a potential NL Central winner. So, I mean, in that sense, yes, I'm buying the Cubs. Are they a World Series contender? Not in my mind. But I do think they're a playoff team. Could they go to the World Series? Yeah, I mean, anything can happen once you get into the dance. But I'm not. They're not. To me, they're not an elite team, but they are good. The way they're playing right now, when I look at that roster, I don't see it, but it's working.
Yeah, and that's the thing with baseball is you don't need to have to be. You just got to be playing steady ball, right?
Yep.
So I mean, and that's what they're doing. I mean, to have 2 10-game winning streaks already this early in the season says that they're pretty good. They've got something figured out. If you're stretching, you're putting together 20 wins, like really pretty much in a row. I mean, it's pretty damn good baseball they're playing. So they got something cooking there. They got leadership on that team. You got Nico Horner, you got Swanson, you got Bregman, right? There's a lot of leadership on that team that knows what it takes to be a professional and play good baseball. So
yeah,
I'm buying the Cubs. I think they are legit. Are they going to get some pitching back? Maybe. Steele had another setback, so I don't think we're going to see him again, but they've promoted Ben Brown into the rotation there. But at this point, it doesn't seem like it matters much. They're just playing that good of baseball. Now, baseball is a very much ebb and flow type of thing, right? We see it all the time. What does this team look like when they hit a 3, a 4, or 5 game skid? Like, can this team get out of it? That's when you
Yeah.
find out who teams are, is if they start hitting a skid, like how do they snap themselves out of it? But yeah. Oh, Hap's another one. So I mean they've got some key pieces there. So I
Yeah.
think
It's funny because like you look at their lineup, they're starting 9. Like there's nobody in that lineup that's having like a monster season. Um, Hap's off to a good start. Seiya Suzuki's off to a good start. You really haven't gotten much out of Bregman yet. Bush is hitting well, not quite as much, a little bit less power than you would have thought. Swansby's batting average is terrible, but he's got some pop. Nico Horner's kind of your offensive superstar, which is not really the role he's supposed to fill, but he is. I struggle because I look at that lineup and I go, wow, like they don't have a lot of firepower there, but it's working.
mhm.
And maybe that'll, they got off to a slow start and we were like, what's wrong with the Cubs? And they caught fire. Now it's like, are we buying the Cubs? They've been very Jekyll and Hyde. I would like to see where they settle in here and what they actually do turn out to be, but um, I think they can win the NL Central. I just don't think they can go any farther than that. But they're proving us all wrong right now because I don't think anybody saw the Cubs doing this.
No, but we also had Seiya Suzuki last year with 27 homers and 76 RBI, something like that at the All-Star break. And then all of a sudden
Yeah.
the Cubs kind of struggled down the back half. So
Yeah, it was ugly.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Bregman doesn't look good. Like he doesn't look good at the plate.
Yeah.
Which I find interesting.
Yeah, it's Swansby Dancing, right? That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Swansby Dancing. Yeah, Dansby Swanson. Whatever. Same thing.
Yeah. Wait, did I say it backwards?
I don't know. I don't know.
I was gonna say
Swansby. I think I'll probably just call him Swansby from now on. It's fine.
I like Swansby. Can we do that?
Yeah, why not? It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
His name is one that's just like dying to be mispronounced.
Yeah, Dancing Swansby. That's what I'm calling him. So anyway.
There was an announcer not that long ago that butchered his name. It was hilarious. It was something like that.
Yeah,
just doesn't roll off the tongue. But
no.
But you got a bunch of guys in this lineup hitting like between 200 and 240, and yet they're producing runs.
Yeah.
Not a ton of RBIs, but they're just consistently scoring runs.
That's all you got to do.
Michael Conforto had a huge hit for them the other day. Like everybody thought he was dead.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's getting that hit in a key moment, right? Or that key walk where a lot of teams are struggling this year. Like, I mean, the batting average with runners in scoring position around the league has got to be terrible. Seems like every telecast I am in, they're like, oh, the Red Sox are 1 for 46 with runners in scoring position this series. And it's like, oh, the Houston Astros are 2 for 37. And it's like, God dang, no one can hit with runners on base all of a sudden. So I think
because nobody hits.
Well, I mean, that's fair.
It's just home runs now.
Yeah, that's fair. But the Cubs are getting those hits with runners in scoring position.
Well, they are. And John Temple nailed it. Like they're hanging crooked numbers a couple times a night and otherwise doing nothing. And that's exactly, their offense is lumpy. That's a great way to describe it. They hang a couple of crooked numbers and that's enough.
I'm sorry. Every time I hear lumpy, I just think of what happens to some people in their shorts, but that's fine.
I'm sorry.
What? Just lumpy? Lumpy is just a weird descriptive word.
Oh,
lumpy.
God. Okay.
Love it. Lumpy. Anyways. All right. Let's get to some Giants talk. So Patrick
no, thank
Bailey.
You.
Well, okay. Well, Patrick Bailey traded to the Guardians. And I put up this little clip, like, traded to the contender, you say? Okay, thank you. What did we think about this deal?
I mean, I think it was easy to trade him. Because, you're talking an elite defensive catcher, offensively limited, but he's an elite defensive catcher. I think the reputation certainly makes it easy. And the team's terrible. Like I think you're getting ahead of what you're probably going to do anyways. And because the Giants made another deal today. They moved a reliever out. Like I think that Buster Posey is starting to pick at some moves that he was thinking about making anyways, to see if he can't maybe get something going before they run out of time?
I think they're out of time. I'm just gonna say it. They're out of time. This team is not great. You have
Mhm.
your 2 stars. Devers actually hit a couple homers in the last week, so maybe coming around a little bit, but Willie Adames has been a bust going
Oh,
over there.
terrible.
Matt Chapman's declining before our eyes. He's not the same guy he was. Um, this is a great depth piece for the Guardians. To back up Bo Naylor over there, this is incredible because Patrick Bailey knows how to handle a pitching staff. And if you need a walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the ninth, this is your guy. He did it twice last year from each side of
Yep.
the plate. So, I mean, crazy. But I mean, a non-hitting catcher joining a non-hitting team, good. Yeah. I mean, I get it, right? Guardians don't hit that much either, but I'm with you. I think this is Buster Posey starting to break it down. So, with that being said, Harrison, Logan Webb hits the IL with left knee
Oh,
bursitis. Should the Giants do this guy a favor and trade him to a contender? This guy has
wow.
legit busted his ass for this organization with literally nothing to show for it. Do the Giants do this guy a favor and put him on a contender to try to get him to win?
I mean, if they do that, then that's a full sale. Like you're putting the for sale sign out front, and everything must go. I mean, he is the heart and soul of that team. He is the ace of the staff. He's becoming the elder statesman of that group. Um, Trading Logan Webb is hard because that's an indication to your fan base and the whole world that you're done. It's time to tear it down.
Is it
And
not? Is it not time?
I don't know that you have to tear it down. I think you need to fix some stuff. But you got a couple of guys aren't performing, which that may just be a fluke. You got a couple of holes. We knew they had holes. Um, but like Logan Webb's not your it's to use the example of I forget which player said it. It's like shitting your pants and changing your shirt, trading Logan Webb. You know what I mean? Like he's not the problem. It The problem is Raffy Devers not hitting, Matt Chapman being wildly inconsistent, Adamas not hitting. Trading Logan Webb is making the problem much worse. Regardless of what you get in return, that is a wholesale sell sign. And I think that would be really hard to sell to the front office and the fan base that you're not just tearing it to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But at what point do you just keep beating your head off the same wall before you hit the reset? I mean, Bryce Eldridge hit his first homer the other day, so like, a glimpse of maybe what he could be. But at what point do you say enough is enough and we have to reset? I mean, they're not competing in that NL West. Like it hasn't been competitive. So what what do they do? Like you think they're just a couple pieces away? I think they're more than just a couple pieces.
I think they are. I mean, like, it also depends on how these contracts pan out. Because like you're stuck with Raffy Devers, you're
Yeah,
stuck
right.
with Adamas, you're stuck with Chapman. Um, there's unless you're going to find a way to dump all three of those guys, like you really can't turn this thing over. So like trading Logan Webb again, it's you're shooting yourself in your left foot so that your right foot doesn't hurt so bad. I just the Giants are in a really terrible spot because they've got some
Mhm.
bad contracts that are long term. Logan Webb isn't your problem. I'd love to see them trade Logan Webb for Logan Webb's sake,
Right.
just to get him the hell out of there. But he may not want to go. But I think if this team, if these guys come around, this team becomes dangerous. If those guys don't come around, then you're looking at a hell of a next 5 years, anyways. So in that case, if you don't see any improvement for those guys, then maybe you tear it to the ground and just basically tell fans sorry, but we got to ride out this pile of crap we've got in front of us until it's gone.
Yeah. I, yeah. I guess. Man. This is a funny comment. The Patrick Bailey deal gets the Guardians from potential first round exit to potential first round exit. We'll
Yeah,
love
I mean,
that.
Patrick Bailey's
Doesn't
there to
do
work with the young
anything.
pitching staff and provide a depth piece. Like
Yeah.
he's not going to help them. The Patrick Bailey trade was brilliant the way Buster Posey structured it because they're going to get more bonus pool money and they're going to steal draft picks.
Yeah.
It's so smart. I mean, Buster Posey is playing chess against some guys playing checkers.
Yeah. Yeah. Curtis says the only saving grace is Roop for them right now.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Being in the NL West, it might be better to completely bring it down to the studs. And I agree, Mike. I just that's where I'm at with the Giants. I mean, it is not other than that random what was it 103 win? When was that? 21?
That was Kapler was still there. Yeah, 21, I think.
I think it was 21. They've been not good. This team needs an overhaul. And I don't know if Buster Posey can overhaul this team without hitting the reset button. I really don't think he can. The foundation you have there is not great. Logan Webb might be the only dependable guy on that roster. There's nobody else that I can depend on. And that's
No.
not a great foundation.
No, the offense is they are the worst in baseball. I'm just verifying they still were. Still the worst offense in baseball. 130 runs scored at the 40 game mark. It's terrible. Like their offense is historically bad.
Mm-hmm.
And they're riddled with contracts that are going to be there for a while. So it's one of those things like you can't even, if you wanted to tear it down, you can't. You can't. You're not trading Chapman. You're not trading Adames. You're not trading Devers. So you are stuck with those guys. Yeah, you're stuck with those guys. Like the teardown, as great as it sounds, ain't an option. You could DFA those guys and pay them, but
it's fair.
But what's the point? Like if you're going to pay them, you might as well hang on to them and see if you can't get something for them. But like if I'm Buster Posey and I'm looking for the reset button, there is no reset button because I can't reset it if I want to. Like some of this shit I've got to live with. Some of the stuff I did to myself. And the Devers trade, he's going to forever look at, I think, as his welcome to the front office moment of I screwed up. All the advanced stats are showing that guy declining. Red Sox fans couldn't get rid of him fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. And he went to a ballpark that doesn't fit his game, as we said from minute one. Like you couldn't have found a worse place for his swing than San Fran.
No, you couldn't have.
Terrible fit. Fit, terrible attitude. Physically declining, offensively declining. It's bad. Mm-hmm. But like you can't move him, you can't move Chapman, you can't move Adames. So it's like, sure, tear it down, and just be really bad and spend $200 million a year because you still have to pay those guys.
Yeah. So I'm sorry to our token Giants fan in the chat, Aaron. I know we haven't seen him. We might need to do a wellness check on him.
We probably should. It's getting worse out there.
Yeah. So I don't know where this team goes because, I mean, there's just for me, there's not even a glimmer of hope. Like there's no light. There's no light at the end of the tunnel for this team. Like it's a dead end and it's dark. Like, I mean, at least you look at the Rockies and they have a direction. They're going somewhere, right? These guys are just not. They're in purgatory. They're just stuck. I don't know where they go.
I do think they will play better as the year goes on. Adames is a lot like Julio. When it gets warm, so does he. They move Patrick Bailey out to give Susac all the playing time because Susac's got a better bat. That's going to help. Harrison Bader, I don't know what to say there. Every time somebody makes that guy an everyday player or tries to, he can't do it.
Is Jung Ho Lee still in the lineup? Where did they move him to a corner spot? Does he still playing? I don't know.
Honestly, I haven't seen him in the lineup, and I can't remember the last time I saw him in the lineup. I say that, and I'm like, geez, when was the last time I saw him? No, he's out. He's in right field most nights.
Okay, so they moved him to a corner spot then.
I haven't really paid much attention to him. He's had an okay season. That's the problem. Like everybody right now is okay or bad.
which
Like
is not great.
nobody's really good.
Yeah.
Helio Ramos is about the only, and Casey Schmidt are the only bright spots for that team
Yeah.
at the moment. Luis Arraez is hitting 310.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter because nobody else is hitting.
Right. Yeah. So
yeah, Jung Ho Lee's hitting 270, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs, playing mostly right field.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
I think they'll be better. I don't think they're actually this bad. But if they don't figure this out fast, they're gonna be chasing the Rockies for last place.
Yeah, Curtis says the Rockies 65-97, just like the Giants.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, good luck to all the San Fran fans out there. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I mean the sad part is, the Red Sox are one game better than them, and we're living through the same hell they are, so we get it.
Jason says, I want to see Will Clark sneak up and hit Devers with a stone cold stunner.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Mid-game, too. Like mid-ground ball. Just kick. God, man, that'd be amazing. Love it.
Oh, God.
All right, Harrison. You put together the out of left field discussion topics for this week. What do you got for us?
All right. I think I got a couple of good ones, a couple of debate type topics. We're going to talk about Fernando Tatis Jr. because I don't know. This is a weird one.
Yeah.
The first one, though, this first one, I saw in a Facebook group, people talking about John Sterling, how great he was. And we all love John Sterling. And then somebody went off on this rant about the fact that broadcasters don't belong in the Hall of Fame. They don't actually do anything. They just tell us what's happening, and there's no value in that. And why do they get a spot in the Hall of Fame? And I'm like, wow. And there's a lot of debate back and forth. People that don't think they belong in the Hall of Fame, people that think they do belong in the Hall of Fame. So I was like, okay, I'm bringing this to the tribe here. And so my question to you, Nick and Chad, is, do broadcasters belong in the Hall of Fame?
I have one name and one name only that should be in the Hall of Fame. That's Joe Buck. That's a joke. I think, yes, right? I mean, you're telling me that you want to keep Vin Scully out of the Hall of Fame. You're telling me probably the greatest baseball encyclopedia to ever walk this planet, with all the stories that guy has, you want him out of the Hall of Fame and all of the years that he covered? No, he has a spot. Like, it's a no-brainer to me. Like, you kidding me? The amount of baseball that guy saw, and you don't want him in the Baseball Hall of Fame? Like, get out of here. Get out of here with that. It's silly.
So just to play devil's advocate, because
let's go.
Clearly a little wound up.
Bring it.
But like, couldn't anybody else have sat in Vin Scully's seat and been Vin Scully? All they're going to do is tell us what's happening on the field. Like, Vin Scully just was lucky enough to be the guy they hired for the job.
No. They are part of the team. They're part of the organization. They're part of their history. The Baseball Hall of Fame Museum is all of that. It is all of baseball history. So if that's the case, then commissioners shouldn't get in. Coaches that never played the game should never get in. Like, if we're keeping it to just the players that played, then all those guys are out too.
But they could be in the museum and not in the Hall of Fame.
Well, a lot of guys are, so I guess it wouldn't really change. It wouldn't really change much. But yeah, they belong. Who the heck's saying no? Probably not real fans. You guys are all with us. Harrison's just playing devil's advocate because he likes to get me going. But
no,
yeah, Jason, there are broadcasters in my life that meant more to me than my own kids.
Wow.
Like, I mean, yeah, I don't see how you can. If I bring my great grandkids to Cooperstown, I don't know how I can tell the complete story of baseball without the guys that told me the story of baseball throughout their career. Right? I mean, I've gone to bed listening to Vin Scully stories. Right? That's how much they mean to the game. They're the heartbeat of the radio guys. How did you take in baseball before there was TV? All these radio broadcasters. They have a place in the hall.
So what I find interesting is generally the debate within this group was, I would say, generational. So your much older crowd, older than us, like Michael's group, um, they were like
Oh, so
broadcasting
like way older.
way older,
Way,
like
way
back
older.
like
Gotcha.
original radios.
Gotcha.
Um, they were like 1,000,000% got to be in. Yeah, that's the only way I heard baseball. They told me the stories every night. Like that to me, baseball was not the game; it was those guys telling me the story. Got it. Then there's like our generation where it's like, yeah, they absolutely belong in like all the big moments in baseball. I hear in their voices, and they told me all the big moments, and like there's that connection. The younger generation, many of them, if they are watching, it's probably on in the background. It's friggin' muted. They're used to watching Facebook with mute and reading captions. I think the younger generation, they don't listen to radio, first of all. They'll never listen to radio. And I think half the time when they've got something on, it's on, muted while they're looking at other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think broadcasters make as big an impact today on this new generation as they did to us and the previous generations, because the way we watch and listen is so different.
So then I absolutely think they deserve a place in the hall then. If they're going to be almost obsolete at this point, the guys that did it before to get us to this point definitely belong, because that's part of the story. That's part of the transition of baseball, if you will. So, yeah, they go in. It's a no-brainer for me. Yeah, I refer to the early 2000s Red Sox as the Remy and Orsillo years, 1,000%. John Carter says Scully, Harwell, Jack Buck, not Joe, Harry Carey, that type of icon. Yeah, 1,000%. Tommy says, when I watch the Phillies today, I still hear Harry Callis's voice. No offense to Tom McCarthy, but yeah, there's just they mute it because there's too many bad ones, and there's something to say about that.
I think that's part of it too. Is I believe that the quality of the broadcasting overall has taken a dramatic drop off as these legends have retired. I feel like they're replacing them with just anybody. It's not good. And of course on MLB TV, I get to sample everybody's broadcast crew, and some of them are just awful to listen to.
Yeah,
some of them are very good, but I think broadcasting itself is kind of a dying art as well. And I think you're seeing the quality of broadcasting going down. I think you're seeing the newer generation that doesn't even care about the broadcasters to begin with because they're not listening. And I think, to your point, like broadcasting is becoming almost obsolete because nobody's listening to these guys anymore anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, gone are the days of Vince Scully being like, Duke Snyder was born in 1931, and here's the 2-2 pitch, and okay, there's a fly out to left field, and he was brought up in Birmingham. Like he just seamlessly went from story to the play-by-play, back to the story, into the like. It was just absolutely insane to listen to him. Nobody does that anymore.
No,
right? You have a play-by-play and you have a color guy. That's it.
Yep.
He was both. Vince Scully was both. It was insane.
I mean, he could be a one-man booth and carry it very well, because a good broadcaster turns what's happening on the field into a story that they're telling you.
Yeah.
They're not interjecting a bunch of their own nonsense like some of these guys do. They're not getting way off topic. They're not telling you the obvious. Like they're just kind of telling you a story as to what's happening in front of them. And that's a dying art. I mean, I love all the joke videos that go around of the athletics broadcasting duo, which are terrible. And it's a fly ball by Rooker. Oh, it's a home run, almost like surprised. It's like, guys, are you watching the damn game?
Or like it has a chance, like, hey, that was hit 510 feet. It has more than a chance to get out of here.
That thing's in the parking lot in somebody's windshield. Like there was a no doubter.
It has a chance.
So I just think there is definitely a transition in broadcasting and in the way people consume the sport that I do think, because the younger generation was like, screw these guys, like who cares? But from their perspective, I don't disagree with them. A lot of the broadcasters today are terrible.
It's
and are
fair.
hard to listen to.
Yeah.
And I think that is very much a generational shift, but I couldn't believe how many people are like, they don't belong in the Hall of Fame because all they do is tell us what's happening,
Yeah.
but they do so in a way that gets you to come back. Like, that's the problem. Like, if you're watching a game or you're listening to a game and the announcer's terrible, are you gonna watch it again? Even if the team is really good? You might not. Like, those are the guys that bring you back.
Yeah. Yeah, you can put it on the board. Yes, I mean, one of the best
Oh,
home.
yeah.
I mean, Bob Euchre. Yeah, I just, it's a silly argument to have. I
It is.
just, I don't see how you can keep these guys
It's
out. Silly.
it's a silly argument to have from our perspective, but I think with how things have changed, I think in 20 years, when we're, now we're just the old guys yelling at clouds, um, and the newer generation is sitting in our seat, they're still not gonna care about the broadcasters. Like, this I think this is a transition in how the game is presented and watched.
I mean, just broadcast in 1 minute clips. That's how everybody takes in
Yep.
everything now. So
Yeah, the broadcasters are irrelevant. Nobody has the attention span to sit there for 2 hours and listen to somebody tell you. I mean, I think I said in the last show, like, I still love baseball on radio. Like, I'll
mhm,
mow the lawn, I'll be outside with my earbuds in. Like, I love baseball on radio. And but for the Red Sox, it's not the same without Joe Castiglione there in the booth. It's
right,
not as good as it once was.
yeah. Yeah, I just, it's, for me, it's silly. It's not even, baseball's not baseball without a broadcast. As even if it's terrible, like
Yeah.
someone to just sit there in the background to tell me what I know, right? Ground ball to short, throws it over for a 6-3
Yep.
put out. Like, I still need to hear that. Not because I don't know what's going on, but like it's just part of the game.
Yep.
It always has been. Like, it belongs in the hall,
Yep.
1000%.
Agreed.
Here we
All right,
go.
let's get into it. We already started to talk about it. So the Giants, and specifically Raffy Devers, because this is ugly. Um, so my question to you, Nick, and chat is: if you're Buster Posey or Vitello, what would you do? What would you do to turn this around?
Well, I would make one more splash hit, and that's me throwing Devers into McCovey Cove. Um,
Yes.
but I already said what I would do. I'd tear it down. I mean, I know we kind of broke it down not even that long ago. We don't have to spend that much time on this again. But for me, I need to find a way to tear this down and see if there's a team that will take these contracts. Probably not, but god dang, man, it's bad. You're never gonna compete. You are not gonna compete with the Dodgers and the NL. You're probably not even gonna compete in the NL, period. There's too
Yep.
many good teams there. It's time to hit the reset. Yeah, and Jason is doing that Stone Cold Stunner from Clark. That's the starting point. I
But
I think you give the whole team the stunner, but don't just stop at Devers.
I say I just work your way around the field. I mean, maybe except Luis Ariz, he's the only guy hitting. But
No, it,
well,
it's time to
so
it's time to reset. Tear it down.
I mean, so tearing it down is not an option because you can't trade those contracts. Then what?
I still try till some sucker takes them. I mean, I don't know. What else do? You bring up Bryce Eldridge. If that doesn't work, now what? You've brought your farm up with Susac. You've brought it up with Eldridge. You got nothing else down there because you traded your big guy away to the Red Sox for Devers. What do you do? I don't know where you just got to play it out. That's it.
I mean, I think you got to play it out, but I think if you're this organization, you need to consider making and dropping Rafi Devers to like 8th in the lineup and leave him there. I think you take guys like Adames and Chapman and Harrison Bader. Although I think Bader hurt right now? He must be, right?
No idea.
But
I haven't tuned into a
I think
Giants game in a while.
well, I've stopped watching them weeks ago. But if you're talking about Devers and Adames and Chapman, I think as an organization, make a bold statement. You drop those guys in the lineup, let them hit 7, 8, 9, and make them earn their way back up that order. You can't trade these guys. It's 1,000,000% impossible unless you're going to pay the whole contract. So you might as well just DFA him and wish him well. So you're on the hook for all the money. So at this
Yeah.
point, make a bold statement and shove these guys to the bottom of the lineup and say, look, you'll come back up when you prove you can hit at that level, but you're not. So you can go hang out at the bottom and try some other people in those spots. We keep penciling in Devers and those guys at the top of the order. Stop. There was a day when you earned those spots. You weren't
Is
just given
Vitello
those spots.
is Vitello gonna do that as a new manager trying to figure it out in the MLB?
If he has Posey's support, yes. If he's got the front office's support to make that move when he sits down with these guys and explains what he's doing, and honestly, like if you're Vitello, piss them off, make them mad, make these guys come to the ballpark and shove it down your throat every night that you did this. I think when you look at the Giants play, I think you got two things. I think one, you got a brand new manager who's settling in, and I think these guys are. I mean, let's be honest. Let's talk about Devers for a minute. Devers is out of shape. He is huffing and puffing running the first base. He is out of shape. He is fat and flabby and out of shape. Has been for 2.5 years. This guy does not care. The only thing that's going to get his attention is if you publicly embarrass this man. And you could do that by shoving him down the order, making him earn his way back. But there was a day Bobby Cox would have done that. He would have told this guy to earn his way back up the order and shoved him to the 9 hole and said, good luck.
Yeah, but I don't think these guys would react to that the way you think they would. I think these guys would curl up into a corner and just be fine with, I'm making my money. I don't care at this point anymore.
That's what they're doing now, though.
I know, but I think it would get worse, which is what I'm saying. I don't think that would give these guys a kick in the butt to turn it around. I think they would curl up and shrivel up even more if you did that to them. Because I think they have fragile egos. We saw what happened with Devers in Boston, right? He's like, oh, you want to move me to a different position? I don't want to do that. And he was like kicking and screaming his way out of Boston. So I think if you shove him down in the order, you lose all production out of him. He's really not going to care. And I think that's kind of the mentality there at the moment.
So you can do nothing and pretend like there's not a problem and let these guys just continue to suck. Or you can actually see if they've got any cojones and shove them down the lineup and see if they respond. And if they do crater, like you said, you're in the same spot. They're just pissed off. I mean, honestly, if I'm Vitello and Posey, I'm going to push these guys to quit. Like, how do I get you to quit? How do I get you to throw the white flag in and say, I don't want to do this anymore? Like, how do I make your life so damn miserable that you don't want to come to the ballpark anymore? Because then I've got an out. But if I don't do that, I'm stuck with this guy for another 8 years at 30-something million bucks a year, and I can't get any production out of him. Like I feel like these guys are living in a country club atmosphere with a new guy who's learning his way around, when in reality what they need is somebody to wake them up or prove that they're soft. And now you make them really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like Tony Vitello with the mic. What happened today? Our middle of the order production sucks. These guys can't hit. Say that one time and see what happens. We need our 3 spot to hit. We're getting no production from that guy. Like, if you don't start needling these guys, and maybe they do crater, in which case you're in the same spot, who cares? But if you don't really get these guys pissed off and get their attention, you're going to lose the whole rest of that clubhouse too. Like at some point, you've got to pick the biggest guy in the room and go punch him in the face and make your point and make your point. But Vitello, he's like a statue in the dugout right now. He's afraid to tell these guys they suck. He's afraid to get them fired up. So it's like, what are we doing? It's like he's running a daycare center right now, just massaging egos. He needs to go piss somebody off and get everybody's attention. You need to shake that clubhouse up. You need to get everybody so goddamn mad that they want to go on the field and just kill somebody. But like, there's no life there. There's none at all.
No. So Jason brings it up. Is Vitello over his head?
100%. And he will be for probably 2 or 3 years. But that's where the front office has got to step in and say, look, Tony, we got your back. Ruffle some feathers. Piss somebody off. Yeah. Make a statement to the media that has an agent blowing up my phone looking for a trade. Do it. Like, go do it. Like, prove to everybody that you are the guy that runs the show.
No, I mean, like, I agree that something needs to be lit, right? A fire needs to be lit somehow, some way. I look at this team from the outside looking in, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And I don't see that there's even a wick to be lit. Like I don't think they have anything to light on fire, is where I'm coming from. And
Yeah, and
sure,
maybe
like
you don't.
yeah, and like you said, like drop them down. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like whatever. But I would, I as crazy as this might sound, I'd rather have a unsuccessful clubhouse that's or unsuccessful team that's happy in the clubhouse versus an unsuccessful team that is unhappy in the clubhouse because I have torn everything apart and tried to repiece it. Now, do you get to a point where you're trying everything and you do that? Maybe, but I think it's hard for a first year professional guy, like let's be no minor league experience, no
0.
major league, right? To come in and do that. This is not the right guy for this team at this moment.
No,
It's
they've set him up to fail.
yeah, badly.
And I think as good as Buster Posey has been in some areas, Buster Posey's made a really big mess here. That
Yeah.
is the result of a young, inexperienced front office guy. Great baseball guy, but he's read everything wrong. He's made the wrong moves for the wrong people and put this team in a terrible spot.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Raffy Devers ain't getting traded. Adames ain't getting traded. Chapman ain't getting traded unless you're going to eat all the money, in which case you might as well just piss these guys off and release them. But if you don't give Vitello, what's the right way to say this? If you don't give Vitello a window to basically puff his chest out and tell these guys who's boss, he'll never win the clubhouse ever. He'll lose these guys forever. You know, it goes back to like, if you want to make a statement, you go find the biggest guy in the room, punch him in the face. If you want to make a statement that you're the guy in charge and your guys aren't going to tolerate this kind of half-ass baseball, you grab a guy like Raffy Devers, you sit him down and say, dude, you suck. You're going to start hitting 9. You're going to earn your way back up. Call your agent, demand a trade. Don't care. You're in the lineup tomorrow batting 9th. And see what happens. You know, like if nothing else, pull a pin on the grenade and throw it and just see what the hell happens. Like you got nothing to lose at this point.
Right.
Except you're going to ruin Vitello forever if you don't let this guy actually like take that stance. Because right now he looks scared. Like he looks scared in the dugout to confront anybody.
Yeah. I was going to say, even if he wants that opportunity, he might not even want that opportunity. To
Maybe he doesn't.
But Chad, this is a good point too. Didn't Washington fire Davey Martinez last year for criticizing players? I know it's different, but maybe Vitello doesn't feel he has the support of the front office to do the call out of the team. He's never been a quiet guy at all. So I don't know. Curtis says there are pieces there. They are not the worst team. It's an unfocused front office, inexperienced manager, and older players with declining skills. So is it also Buster Posey's inexperience?
Oh, it's 1,000% Buster Posey's inexperience. Buster's made this mess. He's got to be the guy that steps in and gives Vitello the backing to try to fix it, at least at the clubhouse level. Everything I've read, Vitello is a great guy. The players like him. He's a smart baseball guy, but he's got no control of that team. Because, and I want to say, yeah, Jason just said it. Like the players don't give a crap what he did at Tennessee.
Yeah, sorry.
Like,
yeah, keep going.
The players don't give a crap what he did at Tennessee. Like he has to earn some credibility. And again, like, how do you earn credibility as a brand new guy with a team that's struggling? Like you've got to rally the troops. You got to do something that brings them back. And sometimes that means you got to go piss somebody off.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember Frank Coney used to get guys all friggin' wound up. He would send messages through the media to guys to get them all pissed off and back out there. But like, that's when you learn what this team is made out of.
Yeah.
And maybe Devers is a bad example because we know he's soft. Like we know that he's very fragile. Maybe you go get Matt Chapman, who's proven to be a tough guy, and make him the example. But at this point, I think Vitello's going to lose this whole team if they just continue to close their eyes, pretend like they don't see what they're seeing. Like you have to do something. You can't trade these guys. Tearing this down is not an option because nobody's taking these contracts.
Yeah.
So you got to find a way to take. You got to take the mess that you've got and make some kind of a meal out of it.
Mm-hmm. Curtis, I agree with this. Vitello would have been better with a team like the Marlins, right? A team that is young, up and coming. They could grow together. I absolutely agree with that. You can't really kind of throw Vitello into a veteran team. It's like you said, the credibility is the issue. So,
well, and we said it when they signed him. I mean, my first comment was, "Why? This is something a small team does. This is not something or a small market team does. This is not something a experienced roster in a big market does."
right. Jason says Vitello could create a cardboard cutout of Posey, and every time they win, they strip off a piece of his clothing.
I mean, which that might work. But if I'm Buster Posey, like I might be down in that clubhouse more often because he should be feeling the heat.
Yeah.
Because this is a mess he created.
Somebody give Harrison a Devers jersey for his birthday. Do it.
I think I loved Raffy Devers when he was here. He's soft but again, like Alex Cora let him get away with it. Raffy Devers is the player he is today because he hasn't had a manager that told him to cut the crap. Like that's the issue. This guy has been babied and coddled since he was in the minor leagues. And he doesn't know how to be a grown man because nobody's shown him how to do it. And now he's struggling and everybody wants to hold him with kid gloves. Like somebody needs to just go sit him down and say, dude, you suck. You're going to bat ninth. Figure it out. Like you're a professional. You're making 30 something million bucks a year. Act like you care.
Yeah.
Like go be a man and figure this out.
I don't
but
disagree.
Nobody's ever told him that.
No. And I don't think anybody will, to be honest.
But I think what's going to end up happening is this is going to be an utter train wreck. Vitello's going to get fired. Buster Posey's going to get fired because nobody will just do what has to get done. It's the same reason the Padres can't keep a manager. And that's why Stamen's in there because he'll basically do what Preller tells him to.
Right.
Because I think that Preller has sent Stamen into the clubhouse to basically be his mouthpiece to get these guys to start working together, which maybe that is working. I don't know. Yeah. They're playing really well.
They are.
But like this is gonna become a unrepairable train wreck.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah.
All right. So anyway, moving on. The Giants have made a mess of this, and at some point they're just all going to get fired for it. But Devers and
but
Thomas and Chapman will still be there.
Right.
Anyway, all right. So, not sure if you guys saw, but Framber Valdez hit a guy, benches emptied. The manager basically said it didn't feel good being out there backing him up because really he shouldn't have done it. The media spent basically the first 24 hours ripping Framber Valdez apart. The next 24 hours going, what did Hinch mean? You know, what is he trying to say? Is the team not supporting him? And we kind of got into that during the show, but it got the media kind of wondering what the hell's going on in that clubhouse. So my question is, between Framber Valdez and AJ Hinch, who handled it worse?
I mean, Framber Valdez is mentally soft, right?
Yes.
And in no way should he have done that. And in the same breath, like AJ Hinch, if he's thinking that is an internal thought that should never be spoken out loud, right?
Yes.
Like that is something that you tell your team behind closed doors with no reporters present. Like, hey, that's not Detroit Tigers baseball. We don't do that. That's telling you that, hey, I don't support what you just did, but you're not blasting it out to the world. So I think this goes on the manager, honestly, because you are supposed to be managing that clubhouse and the guys in it, no matter who's in there, right? You cannot agree with one of your players, and you can tell them that. Don't tell the media, right? Unless you're the Giants, we want you to. But, AJ Hinch did not handle that correctly. You cannot utter that to the media. That is a closed door meeting. Hey, we don't do that. That's not Tigers baseball. We can't do that again. And then if it doesn't stop, then maybe you blast it out. But he handled it worse, I think, in my eyes.
So you're saying Hinch handled it worse?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because that's kind of the path I went to. I don't disagree with what AJ Hinch said. I do think they have a problem with Framber Valdez in the clubhouse, and I think that's a bit of a wake up call to the front office that maybe you should have actually done your due diligence before you made that move, because it sounds like maybe not everybody was on board.
Mm-hmm.
Framber Valdez handled it about as you would expect him to. The minute things get hard for him, he craters, and this is what he does. He blames his catcher and hits him, or he hits the next guy up. But at the same time, I agree with you. Like, Hinch can feel that and think that and say that to everybody but the media. He should have gone to the front office the next day and said, "Hey, look, guys, here's where I'm at with this Framber Valdez thing. Here's how I feel. I don't like it." But you can't say that to the media, because that immediately sets off so many conversations you don't want to have.
Right. Yeah, you can't do it yet. Right. Like it was the first instance that he had. Right. Yes, he's got history on other teams, but here in Detroit, he hadn't shown it yet. Until then, nip it in the bud if you can. And then if it happens again, that's when you kind of go public with it. That's my idea with it. But
yeah, to me, and I said it last show, like, I feel like it was Hinch sending a message to the front office, basically saying, "Hey, like, I didn't want this guy, still don't want this guy." He very clearly said he doesn't want this guy, which obviously now Framber Valdez knows his coach, his manager doesn't have his back, which is not a good spot for him to be in. His teammates may not even have his back. And Mike Reed, you might be right. Maybe Hinch has already had this conversation with Valdez, and maybe they just are agreeing to coexist. I don't know. But to say that publicly, it opened, because now as players being asked the question, like, are there problems in the clubhouse? What's it like with Framber Valdez? Like, you've opened up a narrative that you can't take back. That's becoming a distraction, and your team's now lost 5 in a row since that happened. I mean, maybe they're related, maybe they're not, but it's kind of funny timing.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are all right. There could, we don't know, right? There could have been a conversation already behind closed doors. You know, that's the thing. Jason, this is a cool little story. He said Bobby Cox story from Brian McCann. Brian argued a strike call and Bobby came out to argue for him and Bobby gets ejected. After the game, McCann said they watched the replay and Bobby says, "Damn, Brian, you owe me $500 for the fine and fine I'll get for being ejected. That was a damn strike. So support your players in public." So
that's classic Bobby Cox, because he would.
Yeah,
Bobby Cox would fight would fight with these guys to the end of the world, and then privately would then go chastise them for putting him in that position.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like, I'm not an AJ Hinch guy. I don't think he should even be in baseball right now. So, like, I don't care about AJ Hinch at all. And I think the Tigers are a bit of a dumpster fire in their own right now. But as a manager in Major League Baseball, whether you like the guy or not, you just can't say that part out loud. I think he's screwed up. I think it makes him look bad. I think it makes the team look bad. I think it puts the front office in a weird spot. It puts Valdez in a weird spot. And I think you're creating culture issues on that team that are just going to contribute to the mess you already have.
Right. I think if anything, if he's already having issues and then you say that, you're just compounding the problems, right? And again, we're not in there. We don't know for sure. Maybe this has already been an issue with them prior. Don't know. And this is him saying, yeah, like, we don't really know what that was about. And we're not really having his back in that situation. I don't know. I think, yeah, from the outside looking in, not knowing, you know, I'm assuming that conversation hasn't happened yet because we hadn't seen it on the field yet, that this was the first time that they've seen this. And for him to say that, I think was, I know me and you are kind of different than what the chat's spitting out at us. Like, they're all backing Hinch for what he said. I don't disagree with what he said. I disagree with when he said it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he has every right to feel that way, think that way. He can tell everybody else that he thinks that. He just can't say that to the media. Like, you just can't make that part known publicly. You want to go in the clubhouse and sit down with Valdez and tell him you think he's a piece of crap? Great, you should do that. And maybe it has happened, but it doesn't matter. You still can't say that part publicly, because as the manager, it is your job to back these players. This is your team that you're trying to get rallied and moving in the same direction. and you can't have guys that you're singling out. We've seen that happen before many times. It's never ended well where managers have taken that kind of stance with a player.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. Tigers are weird at this moment. So.
That team's a mess, and I think that the addition of Skubal or the addition of Framber Valdez doesn't help. Skubal going down obviously that's a whole nother issue, but like this team is a mess. They were a mess last year down the stretch. They're a mess this year. Like I think that's who they are.
Yep. Agree. All right. Next one. Last one.
All right, last one. So Fernando Tatis Jr. He is third in the league in hard hit percentage, but yet has not hit a single home run yet. Everybody else around him on this chart has 5 or more home runs. This is as of a couple days ago, so those numbers might be higher. Murakami's is certainly higher at 15 now. All these guys around you, they're hitting the ball as hard as you are, have multiple home runs. You have none. So my question is, what the hell? What is wrong with Fernando Tatis Jr.?
No launch angle, bub. He's got no launch angle. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's telling me that you're just hitting because what is it? Is it over 90 miles per hour exit velocity is considered hard hit? Yes. I think is the threshold.
Yep.
So it's telling me that you're just hitting the ball hard on the ground. So you're either hitting the top third of the ball and just pounding it into the ground at 90 miles an hour, and you're just not getting any lift. You're not getting any backspin on your baseballs. It's all topspin, or you're behind, or I don't know, one of those baseball things.
One of those baseball things. But you think a guy hitting the ball hard consistently would like even accidentally launch one. Michael Harris is not exactly a power hitter. He's got 7. Because when you make solid contact, sometimes they go out. Like sometimes they take off.
Well, and that's what I mean. Like it might just be one of those baseball anomalies. Like it just hasn't happened. And then this week he could go up and hit 5 and be player of the week. Like, you know? Yeah.
Jason.
That's awesome.
I mean, I don't love Fernando Tatis Jr. either, but this is such a weird, it's so weird to have a guy hitting the ball consistently hard, but getting nothing up and out. It's, ground balls and lasers, but he's still only hitting like 243. Like even the batting average isn't that high, but he's crushing, he's hitting the ball so hard, but not deep.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, dirt bikes and drugs, don't do them, kids. I don't know. I'm not a Tatis guy either, but I can't really explain this. I mean, if you're hitting the balls and you're at bat 60%, like one of these should have accidentally left the field. But Petco Park's not exactly a home run friendly stadium either. So there's that.
Yeah. But this is the same Fernando Tatis Jr. that during the WBC hit 400 with 2 home runs and 11 RBIs. And this guy tore the WBC apart. And came back with nothing. Wow. Yeah. Thank you, John.
Yeah. I'm not putting that one on, but
I forgot we had our middle school class watching this. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I don't have an explanation for this. I think it's a combination of things. It's either his swing has flattened out, it's gotten slow. You're still squaring up the baseball. To hit it 90 miles per hour with an exit velocity, like you still have to square it up, but you're just not getting any lift. You're not getting any backspin. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have a logical explanation for this one.
Yeah. So next slide here, I grabbed some advanced stats just to kind of look at them. So the advanced stats on Tatis right now is on the left, you've got the season, then you've got the pull in the air percentage. So basically how many times he pulls the ball in the air. And in 2021, when he had that massive season, he pulled the ball 22.2% of the time to left field, like in the air to left field, which is
Mhm.
typically your home run lane. That dropped to 15% in 2023, 14% in 2024, 12% in 2025. He's down to 5% in 2026.
Eek.
He can't get around on the ball to get it to left in the air. Like he's either rolling over stuff or hitting it at the opposite field. The other part of it too is that he's currently third in the league on hits under 200 feet. So he had 30. So this is a couple days ago. He had 32 hits. 23 of them are under 200 feet, which means he's hitting little laser beams in front of the outfielders and ground balls through the hole. So he can't get around on the ball, and he's hitting a lot of low line drives and ground balls, which typically means he's late. And when you're late and rushing, you tend to flatten your swing out because his swing angle is like half of what it usually is. It's down to like 7 degrees. His swing is incredibly flat because he's late and trying to catch up, which tells me he's either not seeing the ball. This is going to be one of those guys that needs glasses situations, or he just can't catch up to it anymore, which seems odd that he suddenly can't catch up to Major League pitching. But that's 100% of what's happening. He is consistently late and flattening his bat swing or flattening his swing path to get to the ball faster, which are not good signs. Those are not technical flaws. Those are approach flaws.
Yeah. So you're saying like his swing is just too long for the velocity and his
he's basically become a slap hitter because he doesn't, his swing is flat. He has no launch angle and he's constantly trying to catch up. So basically he's swinging the bat really fast, flat. And because of that, he's basically become a slap hitter. You know, the guy that he's hitting most like right now is Chandler Simpson. They have extremely similar stats. And Chandler Simpson is a slap and run like hell kind of guy.
Because he gets down the line in about 1.75 seconds. And how old is Tatis? Is 27?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this just, I mean, you look at those pulling the air percentage, like that's a pretty steady decline.
It's a really aggressive decline and not a good sign.
Yeah. So
he's been falling behind pitching for years.
Is this also the increase in velocity over those years?
It could be.
He's just never adjusted to the increased velocity.
It could be. I mean, from what I saw, his bat swing, his bat speed has not changed dramatically. It's like a couple tenths slower than it has been, so not a big deal. No real notable bat swing decline or speed decline, and they're not really pitching him any differently. But he is consistently late. But he's also late on off-speed pitches, which tells me he's not reading it.
He's not seeing it.
There's something in what he's seeing that's not computing.
Interesting.
Because pitchers are not changed. Pitchers have not dramatically changed how they pitch to him. His bat speed has not shown any real notable decline. But yet he's consistently falling behind pitching and has for 4 years. It's odd.
Yeah, it is odd. But so Chandler Simpson has the second most hits in the league, right? Arise leads the league in hits right now, 42. I mean,
for this group, for this sample set,
who's leading the major leagues in hits right now?
Good question.
I thought it was Chandler the other night.
It may be. The hits leader right now is Otto Lopez.
How many does he have?
55.
Okay, so I was gonna say if he's near the top of the hit leaderboard,
these are the guys that all lead in the hits under 200 feet. These are basically your slap hitters. It's Chandler Simpson, Luis Arraez, Austin Martin, Jose Fernandez, Keith Colt, Justin Crawford. These are all guys that are speed first, so they just slap it.
Right.
Except for Arraez.
But what I was trying to get at is if his total is near the top of the league, I don't care that he doesn't have no homers, right? Like if he's got 44 hits and he's only 6 or 7 behind the top guy, like I don't really care, right? Because he's still producing, even though you're not putting the ball out of the ballpark, you're still producing. But if you're kind of middle of the pack of hits and you got no power and your average is what, 240? You said.
Yeah, he's hitting 248 with no home runs, 15 RBIs.
I mean, you're still driving guys in, but I don't know. Are you that worried if you're the Padres, especially if you're still winning? If they're at the bottom of the NL West, then I think it might be time to figure it out. But I think maybe he's just fitting what the Padres need at the moment.
And this is where winning kind of cures all sins, because
right.
if this team was 500 or worse, the media would be screaming for this for people to figure out what's wrong with him and to bench him, move him down like we just did with Devers.
Right.
But they're not, because the team is winning. So it's like, well, we'll give Fernando time to figure it out. But for a guy who's been hitting the middle of your order on May 10th to still be homerless, it's not a concern in terms of production. It's a concern in terms of what's wrong with him. Like what's happening for a decline like that. And this could be a guy, like you said, he may go hit 12 in the next week and a half, in which case nobody's going to care that this happened.
Right.
But the advanced metrics say there's something wrong. And I'm sure the Padres are aware of that and trying to figure it out, but this is not like he's going to wake up tomorrow and figure it out.
No, I mean, yeah, his last series, the last 5 games, I mean, we've got 4 hits, 1 extra base hit. I mean, we're not striking out. We have 4 strikeouts in those games. So, I mean, I don't know.
Ks aren't an issue for him. He's kind of on pace where he normally is.
Yeah.
He's got he's stealing bases, he's getting on base, he's driving in some runs. He just has no pop. He's Luis Ariz with a higher exit velocity. That's who he's become.
Yeah.
And not nearly as many hits, but
yeah, I got nothing, honestly. I really don't. I mean,
it's weird. It's weird to see a guy who
are pitchers trying to bust him inside? Is he just taking it where he's being pitched?
No,
maybe it's just his approach.
The overall pattern of how he's pitched really hasn't changed much. Because everybody knows the book on him. You bust him in hard, you go away soft, and that's how they've always pitched him. Just don't make a mistake over the middle of the plate. But the problem is, like, his power down the middle is gone too. Like, he can't. You can throw this guy a belt-high fastball, he can't turn on it right now. Just can't get around it. I mean, the other part in all this that it could be is he actually hurt and just hasn't said anything?
Could be it.
I don't know. Is the shoulder bothering him? Is it something else? But to basically turn into a slap hitter is strange.
Yeah. I got nothing on the Padres, but that's a weird anomaly for sure.
It is. And the fact they're winning, I think, makes this a non-issue. But if they level out and he's still doing this in July, I think people are going to be freaking out.
Yeah.
If he's got like 3 home runs and he's hitting 240.
Yeah. Agree. But
Jesus Christ, John.
I know. They're all going off the rails here.
Friggin' teenagers in the chat.
We've lost them.
Yeah, more beers in the dugouts. I mean, at this point, if I'm the Padres, I'd explore all options.
Right.
What do you need?
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. I just thought the Tatis thing, it's just so weird.
It is a weird one for sure.
To have a guy's stats, his advanced, like, everything points to there's a problem. But yet, like, nobody's railing on the fact that he's not producing.
Right. And like you said, it's because winning hides it.
Exactly.
So
winning cures all sins.
Yeah. All right. We are on. We started this a couple weeks ago. We're bringing it back. 2 truths and a lie. You guys are going to vote for the lie in the chat. What do you got for us tonight? We got some tough ones, or do you take it easy on us?
I mean, I think some of these are pretty easy. I think some of these are harder. I took a good mix of kind of 70s, 80s, 90s players. So I tried to mix in some generations. Obviously, like, I'm not picking obscure guys to do this with, because that'd be really hard. So they're all guys we're all very familiar with.
All right.
And it's a variety of different styles, so we'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, let's get to it.
All right, two truths and a lie. Tell me the lie for Tom Seaver. Number one, he had 10 seasons with 200 or more strikeouts. Number two, had at least one complete game in every season. And then number three, had 5 top 10 finishes in the MVP voting. Tell me the lie.
For me, I think one complete game in every season probably makes sense for that era. Unless, was he ever hurt?
Not really.
I don't know. So
Seaver was a pretty healthy guy overall. Pitched for a while.
10 seasons of 200 or more strikeouts. Yeah, God. I'm feeling number 3. I feel like he possibly could have gotten 5, like top 10. But that's also a lot for a pitcher to have 5. I'll go with 3. I think. Kind of talk myself out of it. I'm gonna go 3. What do we got in the chat? We got Gut says 3. My mom says 2. We got 3. Mike Reed says 3. Cran says 2. All right, we're going to turn it. It is number 2. Dumb.
Number 2. So he did have a complete game in every season but one. And what's amazing is in many of the seasons, especially in the first 10 years of his career, he averaged 15 to 18 complete games a season. He was out there the whole time, most nights. But in 1982, he had a disaster of a season and did not get a complete game that year. Pitched 2/3 of the year, pitched terribly. Like he was awful. 5-13, 5.50 ERA. Just it was a really, really bad season. Coming off of an exceptionally good season the year before that. So I think it was a fluke year for him where nothing went his way. But yeah, he missed it. In only one season of his 20-year career did he not pitch at least a complete game.
Talked myself out of it. I hate when I do that, but nice. That's
but
crazy.
That era, I mean, if it wasn't for the fact he had such a bad season, he easily would have.
He would have done it. Yeah.
Completed the few that year because he always did.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like even if he had a losing record, one of those had to have been a complete game, but I guess not.
I mean, to give you an example, he started 647 games in his career. He had 231 complete games. He finished 1 out of 3 games he started.
God, pitchers don't even start 231 games anymore.
I know.
Crazy.
I mean, he averaged 10 complete games more. Was it 11 complete games a year?
Damn. Wild.
Nuts.
That is crazy.
So, all right. 2 truths and a lie for Joe Morgan. Tell me the lie. Number 1, he is in the top 10 for most hits all time by a second baseman. Number 2, he hit more career home runs than times he grounded into a double play. Number 3, he won 2 MVP awards and they were back to back. Tell me the lie.
I think number 2 probably is correct. That would make sense. He's in the top 10 for most hits time. I mean, there's a lot of second basemen that had a lot of career hits. But I'm thinking 3. I don't know if they were back to back. But I don't know if he was top 10. You got Rogers, Hornsby, you got Sandberg, you got Biggio. I'm going number 3 again. I don't know if his MVPs were back to back.
All right, we'll give Chad a minute to catch up.
Curtis is 3, Michael's at 1, John Temple's at 1. Michael says 3 is 100% true. 75 and 76, he went back to back. Well, the heck with me then. So then
I'm gonna start blocking Michael's comments.
It's gonna be number 1. So we're kind of all over the board. Then it's going to be number 1. Then he must not be in the top 10. Dang. All right.
Joseph guessed number 4. Bold move, Joseph.
Is number 1. Wow.
Number 1, yeah. So he is currently ranked 12th all time. He sits behind players like Robinson Cano, Robbie Alomar, Carew, Biggio, Eddie Collins, Rogers Hornsby, Frankie Frisch, Charlie Gehringer. I mean, whole slew of guys. But
Yeah.
I thought for sure he was top 10. I didn't consider the fact that a guy like Robinson Cano had as many hits as he did in the time that he played.
Do we count his stats, Harrison? He did steroids.
I mean, fair.
Anyways, it'd still only move him up to 11th, so it's
still wouldn't make it. Julio Franco sits right in front of him.
Julio Franco is classified as a second baseman?
Well, for part of his career, yeah. I mean, for a lot of his career, he was.
Yeah, I guess. But wild. Nice one. All right.
2 truths and a lie for Johnny Bench. Tell me the lie. Number 1, he won 10 consecutive Gold Gloves. Number 2, is the youngest player ever to win an MVP award. Number 3, designed the catcher's mitt after a thumb injury. Tell me the lie.
So he was just out there with a regular, shortstop glove behind the plate?
Well, the catcher's mitt we know today.
Well, gotcha.
The modern catcher's mitt. I mean, the catcher's mitt they used like way back when was basically just a glorified infielder's glove.
Yeah. I don't think he was the youngest to win an MVP. I think it's 2, but yeah, that's my guess. That's number 2. What does the chat say here? Chad thinks number 2. Curtis is on number 3. John's on number 2. I know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying 2. That's my guess. I think, yeah, Joseph's saying 2 is the lie. Michael says 1, 10 consecutive Gold Gloves. All right, let's flip it.
The lie is number 2. He was the youngest ever in 1970, but then Vida Blue won in 1971 and was 219 days younger than him. So Johnny Bench was the youngest MVP ever for 1 year, and then Vida Blue took it.
Yeah. Wasn't Miggy the youngest?
No, Miggy was a year older than both of those guys.
Gotcha. Nice.
At least a year. Maybe might have been more. There's a couple guys that were closer.
Yeah. Crazy.
But yeah, so the modern day catcher's mitt was actually Bench was a big part of designing it, and he was the first guy to use it after he hurt his thumb. So the way we see the catcher's mitt now with like the big kind of rounded off padding and the deeper pocket, that was his design. Because he was tired of having to catch with 2 hands, because that's where he hurt his other thumb, was taking a ball off of it because he had to have the second hand up there because the ball wouldn't stay in. So that hinge design was his, or he worked with the glove companies to design it.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. 2 truths and a lie, Mike Schmidt. Number 1, was elected to an all-star game after he retired. Number 2, led all of MLB in home runs 6 times. Number 3, won 10 consecutive Gold Glove awards. Tell me the lie.
I know number 1 is correct because it was like a farewell kind of selection. I'm thinking number 2. Number 3, he had a lot of Gold Gloves. So I think that could be true. I'm going 2 again here. Russell thinks 2. John thinks 3. Yeah, Russell's on 2. I mean, he had a lot of home runs, but I don't know if he led it 6 times. Ed's going 3. My mom's going 3. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Yeah, Mother's Day to all the moms out there, especially
Number 2.
Penny.
Number 2 is Curtis. Silix is 3. Michael 3. Oh, all right. Well, let's flip it. We're between 2 and 3. Number 3.
Lie is number 3. He did win 10 Gold Gloves, but it was over the span of 11 seasons.
Dang.
He
All
did.
right.
He led the National League in home runs 8 times, and 6 of those times he also led all of MLB.
Okay. Well, I mean, he had over 500 homers, so makes sense.
Yeah, he had a bunch. Oh, what's amazing too is like you look at the home run totals he led with. Like he led one year with 31, 36, 38.
Yeah.
Like which is for that era was a ton of home runs, but like by today's standards, you're like that's it.
Yeah. Right.
Then he did hit 48 in 1980, so he
Yeah.
won. He led major leagues by a lot that year.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But anyways, all right. 2 truths and a lie. Ricky Henderson, tell me the lie. Number 1, has the most walks in MLB history. Number 2, holds the MLB record for times caught stealing. And number 3, was the first AL player ever to steal 100 bases. Tell me the lie.
I'm pretty sure I know this one, so I will let the chat go through this one.
I think this one is one of the easier.
Yeah. Ricky never got caught. The other team cheated.
Yeah. Ricky will tell you Ricky never got caught.
Yeah. The only position in baseball you can't argue who the greatest ever is at that position is Schmidt at third.
Yeah, overall, I think third base
yeah,
is like such a slam dunk.
Yeah.
And it's not close.
Yeah. So we're split here. It's 3. We got ones. Chad thinks Bonds is the walk lead, all-time walk leader. Yeah. So we got 1 and 3. I'm going with number 3. I don't think he was the first to get 100 bases in the AL. That's me. I'm pretty sure he has the most walks in MLB history. Bonds is a close second, but I'm pretty sure Henderson has the lead still. But the answer.
What are you going with?
I'm going with number 3. I don't think he was the first with 100. So
all right, flip it.
Oh, all right.
The lie is number 1.
Dang.
So Ricky has the most unintentional walks in baseball history, but Bonds has the most because of all the intentional walks that he got.
Gotcha.
And yes, he was the Maury Wills Joseph was all NL.
Oh, makes sense.
So Ricky was the first 100 stolen base guy. I mean, even Ty Cobb didn't have 100 steals. I think he maxed out at 96. Just shows how hard that is to get, no matter what time period you're in.
Yeah, 96 stolen.
His 130 just still seems impossible. Like I'm not sure how anybody could steal that many. I can't wrap my brain around it.
130 is wild.
Insanity.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Nice one. Good one.
All right. 2 truths and a lie for George Brett. Tell me the lie. Number 1, only player to win a batting title in 3 different decades. Number 2, led all of MLB in triples 3 times. Number 3, only had 3 seasons with 200 or more hits. Tell me the lie.
Number 1 is true, because I know, because I based a trivia question around that and everybody got on me because they didn't know what a decade was. So he's got a batting title in the 70s, the 80s, and 1990. So that was what everybody was like, well, a decade ends in a 0, it doesn't start in a 0. Blah, blah, blah. So it started a whole fire in the chat, in the comment section.
The decade thing always gets people wound up.
Always, man.
People say, well, any 10-year span can be a decade. It's like, oh my God, stop. You're embarrassing yourself, guys.
Yeah. I'm going 3 here because triples just seems random enough that it could have happened. So that's why I'm going 3. That's my reasoning there.
I like it.
Because I think he either has more seasons with 200 hits or less. So I'm going to go 3. But I mean, he played for with a span of 3 decades, he could have had less seasons with 200 more hits and still accumulated the hits he did. So I'm going to go with number 3.
Yep.
But we got 2s in the chat. We got 3s. So 2s and 3s again. It is number 3.
Number 3. He actually only had 2 seasons with 200 or more hits, 76 and 79. He had a lot of years of like 140, 160. Not many.
But just again, played for a while.
Yeah, he was also a guy that missed a fair amount of time too. So that was also part of it. But yeah, I mean, to me, the 200, it felt like he would have been like 200 hits every year. Like that felt like an automatic. But when you break it down, it's like, no, it wasn't. He just, a lot of years of 150 hits still get you there.
Yeah.
20 years at 150 get you to 3,000.
Yeah. That's good math. I wouldn't have been able to do that, obviously.
Yeah. So, all right. 2 truths and a lie. Jeff Bagwell. Tell me the lie. Number 1, made 6 All-Star game appearances. Number 2, holds Astros records for home runs, RBI, walks, and OPS. Number 3, was not elected to the Hall of Fame until his 7th year on the ballot. Tell me the lie.
Number 2, definitely. But yes, that one's true. The 7th year on the ballot is specific enough where I think that one's also true. Did he get 6 All-Star game appearances? Huh. I mean, you would think he would, but first base was pretty loaded during that time frame. So maybe he got less. I don't know. Number 2 is definitely right. It's 1 or 3 for me. I'm going with 1 just for the heck of it. Jeff Brown Paper Bagwell. Fun Bermanism.
I love that one.
Yep.
Such a great Bermanism.
So we're split in the chat again here. It's 3 or 1. So you guys are kind of
I love when they're split. It tells me I asked a good question when it's a coin flip.
Yeah. Yeah. Chad thinks he only made the All-Star game like 3 times. So number 1.
Blasphemy.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, how many homers were the first baseman putting up in that era? I mean, and he was still in the
billion.
Yeah, exactly. And he was still in the NL at that time. So I just, I'm going number 1 here. So, all right.
Jeff Bagwell never once led his league in home runs.
Yeah. So
even with all his seasons over 40.
Yeah. It's crazy. All right, we're gonna flip it. It is number 1.
It is number 1. He only appeared in 4 All-Star games for the exact reasons that were mentioned. He was up against some very, very difficult competition for that spot. And although his numbers were, I mean, there's years he was finishing in the top 5 in the MVP voting and not making an All-Star game. It's wild to think, but it's true.
It's crazy. That's absolutely
crazy. 1, 2, 3. So wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He had 6 seasons where he got MVP votes and no All-Star appearance.
Damn.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. Big Mac took a lot of starts. Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, he only hits 70 home runs.
I mean, he was known to hit a little.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, just a little bit. All right. 2 truths and a lie from Mariano Rivera. Tell me the lie. Number 1, saved 40 or more games in a season 10 times. Number 2, only led the AL in saves 3 times in 19 seasons. And number 3, holds the MLB record for postseason ERA and saves. Tell me the lie.
Kind of tossed up between 1 and 3 again. I don't.
And then John Temple just guessed number 2.
Yeah.
So,
I want to say he doesn't have the lowest postseason ERA. For me, I think Pettit does. Because again, I did trivia question on Andy Pettitte not that long ago, but I'm not sure. I mean, 40 or more games in a season 10 times. That would make sense. He had 600 and some odd million saves.
Yeah.
So only led the AL in saves 3 times in 19 seasons. That kind of makes sense with some of the amount of games that people were saving at that time. Oh God, man. I'm going number 3 just because of the postseason ERA. That's sticking in my head for some reason, but I could be wrong. But
wow, Chad is all over the place. I love it.
we go, 1, 3. Cran says 1. John says 1. Joseph says the saves. Thought it was 8 or 9. So that's what, number 1? Yeah. Everyone's going 1. All right, let's flip it. It is number 1. Dang.
Number one's a lie. Only saved 40 or more 8 times. The 10 felt like a good number given all the saves he had, but he did do it 8 times. And Rivera's career postseason ERA in 141 innings is .70.
Dang.
Yeah, he's. I think the question you asked was starter, lowest ERA for a starter.
Probably.
He's got the lowest ERA of any pitcher. I think the qualifier to be part of that conversation is like at least 30 innings pitched, but he's the lowest. But I think Pettitte was the lowest as a starter.
Dang. All right. Well, I missed that one. So, Curtis, you're on the board tonight, buddy. You got it. And that's the Yankees question. So, nice.
Joseph, yes, regain some honor.
Yeah. He does have the postseason ERA because it was brought up during the Yamamoto start in the World Series. Nice. Well, if I didn't mute the announcers, I might have been able to hear that.
Because they don't belong in the Hall of Fame anyways. So
right, exactly.
And postseason stats also don't count. So
facts.
All right. Here you go, John. You've been talking about Edgar all night. Here's your chance. All right. 2 truths and a lie. Edgar Martinez. Tell me the lie. Number 1, hit 30 or more home runs in a season just once. Number 2, holds the Mariners records for runs, doubles, RBIs, walks, average, and OBP. Number 3, was the first Mariners player ever to win a batting title. Tell me the lie.
This is a tricky one because I feel like he could have done all of these.
Mm-hmm. This one might be one of the harder because I think they all seem possible.
I'm trying to think of. I mean, he wasn't a huge power guy. So one season of 30 or more could definitely make sense. Number 2, I think, is definitely correct. Number 3, though, who would have won the batting title before him? Because his first one was it was like early 90s, right? It was like 93, 92?
92.
Yeah,
so the first batting title was 92, and he hit 343.
So who could have hit it before that? I got nothing on 3. So just for that reason, I'm going to say 1 is the lie, and he might have done it twice. But I don't know. Number 3 is making me scared because there could have been somebody I don't know before him. But I'm going 1 because I can't think of anyone. That's just me.
Okay, we got some 1s, we got some 2s, we got a bunch of 3s.
Yeah. Chad thinks it's 1. Yeah. 92, 94, 98. He won. A-Rod won his batting title in 96. Yeah. All right. Gonna flip it.
It is number 2.
Number 2.
So the trick here is that The only thing that Edgar doesn't hold is hits and average, which are both held by Ichiro.
You sly dog,
You
you.
like that?
No, I did not like that.
Because
That was mean.
they all seem possible, right?
That was
I can't give
mean.
you a couple of easier ones and not come back and get you.
Oh man, Harrison's got his meanie pants on.
Yeah.
That
Oh, the
was
fact that
not
we
nice.
had every answer in the chat was like perfect. Like I did this just the way I wanted to. Where it was like they
Oh,
could all be possible. How do I pick one? I will
dang.
say, just for the record, look who got it right.
Well, nice work. My mom's a huge Seattle Mariners fan, so that's probably why.
Love
She's
it.
not. I'm just kidding. But
No, we know.
nice job, mom.
But I'm just saying, if
Yeah.
we just pay attention who got it right.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. But that was pure evil, sir. Just
It
throw
was.
an average in there, but that was a good one.
You know,
Dang.
I gotta keep it interesting.
Now I gotta really pay attention and start reading. I don't like that. I don't
It's only
math. I
taken
don't
you 4
read.
years to figure that out.
Yeah. So
All right, last one.
somehow went back. All right.
So, one of the topics of the night. So, 2 truths and a lie for Buster Posey. Tell me the lie. Number 1, won comeback player of the year twice. Number 2, won MVP and a batting title in the same season. Number 3, elite defender that won 3 Gold Glove awards. Tell me the lie.
Pretty sure number 2 is correct. Maybe it wasn't the same year. Think the defender is true. Comeback player of the year twice. I know one was probably after the snapped leg and why we can't have home plate collisions anymore. I don't know. I'm thinking the reason he got MVP consideration was because of the batting title, and too. Like he was a monster that year. Did he have more than 3 Gold Glove awards? Possibly.
Kurt, it's number 4. He's a good front office guy. Ouch, that's dark.
Oh man.
Yeah, Curtis, show love to the FSU guys. I love that. I'm an FSU guy.
Oh man. I'm gonna go with 3. I mean, comeback player of the year twice though is also odd. But it's so odd that I think it could be right. So I'm gonna go number 3.
It's now you're trying to like find an angle at which I might have played this.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man.
Because I'm pretty sure number 2 is correct because like he was so hot with the bat all year that he couldn't help but I think batting title MVP is correct. I think number 3 is the lie. So all right, we ready to flip it?
Flip it.
Yeah, all right.
Number 3 is the lie. He only won 1 Gold Glove, but he caught 3 no-hitters. That's where
Yeah.
the 3 comes from.
Dang. And his were
yeah, so he won 2 comeback player of the years. One from the knee injury, and then one because he opted out of the COVID year, then won it in 21 when he came back.
Oh, that's lame.
I know, but it's still a comeback player of the year award.
That's freaking lame, though. You opted out. That's lame. 3 no-hitters though.
Well,
what?
I believe he had something and just thought it'd be better to not play because of it.
Gotcha.
I don't think it was like I don't want to play. I think it was like I probably shouldn't.
One more.
Oh, that's right. No, he had the newborn twin daughters. That's what it was. He's like, and I can't bring this thing home.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it's still whatever. One more Gold Gloves than Nolan Ryan won Cy Young awards. Yeah, it's another topic for another night. Crazy. His 3 no-hitters though were what? Lincecum, Matt Cain, and was it Lincecum twice?
I think it might have been Lincecum twice.
2 from Lincecum, 1 from Matt Cain. That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, he caught both Lincecum no hitters.
And then Matt Cain was the third.
Yeah.
Crazy. Nice. Those are always fun. Those are brain busting for me sometimes.
Well, it's fun when I can find like things that all seem possible. So like it really makes you think because it's not like there's like one set perfect answer like in most trivia questions. It's less like what do you think sounds right for this player?
Yeah.
And that's why I love to anchor on things like, George Brett with the 200 hits. You're like, well, that dude must have had 200 hits every friggin' season. Well, not necessarily.
Yeah. Nope. Try again.
So when you play for 20 years, 150 hits get you to 3,000. So
yeah. All right. This is the part of the show where we open it up to you guys. So what do you got for us? Do you have anything else that I missed at the front of the show, Harrison?
I don't think so, but I'm just gonna double check because
All
I
right.
had a few things. I'm like, oh, so let's make sure we bring that up. But I think we got to them.
Yeah, a lot of Giants talk tonight, which goodness gracious.
Yeah.
But I will take the chance to plug our show for Wednesday night, Clearing the Bases. It's inning number 7. And we've been having guest like videos ask the third question. It's been kind of fun. We had Mets Puppet Bill ask the question last week. And we had Mickey Callaway ask it the week before. And we do have a third one coming on for this week. Somebody that you guys know. And possibly have a couple more guests lined up for us. And one of them, if it works out, I am crazy excited for. And I think you guys would love it. And I'll give you a little hint towards it. It has to do with the Rockies and the Pirates mainly. So I'll give you that little hint, and I'll let you guys know if that transpires. But that's what we got kind of working behind the scenes at the moment. But would be a phenomenal interview if we could land this guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I do have one headline that popped up that I meant to mention.
Okay.
So, I don't think it's a surprise, but Sacramento area leaders are gathering, it looks like this week, to formalize their intention to pursue MLB expansion. Their plan is to make their official bid later this month, like officially put their name in the ring.
I mean, they've been supporting the A's right now. I mean, kind of makes them think that they would be able to, so I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, and a lot of what they're saying is, their experience with the A's, they've learned a lot. They think they can support a team here. They do have the soccer club. They do think it's a great location in terms of proximity to other teams, but also to airports, highways, but not in that congestion of like greater Los Angeles and the Bay Area. Like, I feel like there's a lot of selling points, decent sized population in that area. So they were thinking about it, and now it sounds like they're going to formally enter themselves into the expansion conversation.
Yeah. I mean, they do have the Kings. They have the NBA there too. So I don't know. Interesting. Carl, good guess. Not Denny Nagel, but not him. I know what we all think of Banana Ball, but do we think that the expansion they just did is with the potential lockout in mind? I think it's part of it. I think it's part of him growing the league for sure. But we have got some inside intel that he's looking to do something even bigger in 2027. And what that is, we don't know. But we just know that there's big plans in the works. As we got from our Banana Ball insider, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, I think the expansion, I think it made sense as the popularity's picked up to have more teams and more games and go to more locations to capitalize on the interest. But I do think everything Jesse Cole is doing is building towards taking advantage of every opportunity that might be out there, and that would include the 27 lockout.
Yeah.
For sure, Banana Ball will go hard in 2027 to steal as many fans as they can, and even players. Don't be surprised if there's a big draft in 27 for players that maybe aren't sure what the minor league is going to look like and are willing to take a leap out at that point. I think that they could go in and raid the minor leagues during a lockout and fill Banana Ball with guys off those rosters.
Yeah, I mean, that's a substantial pay raise for those guys.
It is. And if
For
these guys
most
have
of them.
nothing else to do, why the hell not?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, as long as Kelsey Whitmore is getting paid, I don't care what they do. Yeah. Yeah. So what did you think, Curtis? You just saw some Banana Ball today. What do you think? I mean, we've kind of talked about it, but it's you don't think it's really going to steal market share from MLB, right? I mean, it is in 2027 just for that time, right? Because there's no baseball. I mean, we're planning on no baseball anyways. I think if the MLB finds a way to get back on the field, it's not going to, but I think it's kind of a dangerous game and perfect storm for MLB if Banana Ball takes another step forward and really blows it up. Like, you could be losing the younger generation. And that's where I'm looking at it. I'm not looking at it from like us. We're going to be back, right? We're going to go back and watch MLB. It's the best baseball in the world, right? We'll be back. The kids behind me, though, are they going to care about the MLB? They didn't see it for a year, but they've seen the Banana Ball. It's here. Do they just gravitate there and stay there? I don't know.
Well, and I think what you're going to find is I think Banana Ball's already stealing market share from MLB. We just don't know it yet. Because I think what you're seeing is mom and dad may have the game on at night, but Junior's not watching with them. Junior's off doing something else. Junior's excited to go to the Banana Ball game next Tuesday, though. I think you're already seeing people begin to divide their attention between MLB and Banana Ball. MLB is there every night. Banana Ball is not. They play, what is it, 60? Is it 60 games, Nick?
60 games, yeah.
So Banana Ball's not there every night. But when it's there, I think you've got people tuning into it over baseball. They just don't have a big enough league or enough games to fully compete. But I think there's already market share being lost that we just can't see in the data yet.
Yeah.
And I think 2027 it will get significantly worse.
I was just gonna say we're gonna see it explode in 2027.
It's gonna
for sure.
Banana Ball is gonna go from being a nothing to annoying to a problem pretty fast for MLB.
Yeah, I agree, and they might not feel the pain, in the first 2 or 3 years out of the lockout, right? They might feel it a few years down the road when those kids are getting older and they're still watching Banana Ball and they haven't come back to the MLB. I think that's the issue.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If MLB locks out in 2027, Banana Ball adds more teams, Banana Ball steals minor league talent, I think you're going to see MLB pay a lot more attention to it.
Yeah.
And take it as a serious competitor for the fans' attention.
Yeah.
Because look around the league right now. Sorry, Nick, but look around the league right now. You've got a lot of teams that have attendance that's down.
Yeah.
You've still got TV that's going crazy. But you got a lot of attendance down, but yet Banana Ball is selling out 100,000 plus seat stadiums.
Right.
MLB is absolutely taking note of it.
Yep. Joseph said during the strike in the early 80s, they had live broadcasts of Stratomatic games. Obviously, Banana Ball will get fans next year.
I'll be watching the crap out of it next year if there's no other baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Something to follow. So, yeah, interesting.
But it's a different experience, and it's already taking some attention away from MLB. It's just, it's not big enough yet to move the needle, but it will.
Right. Yeah. Well, all right. That's all I got for tonight. Nothing else, Harrison?
No, nothing else for tonight.
All right. Well, sounds good. Again, thanks to everybody in the chat. As always, you guys are always electric, um, and love the time we spend together here on the live stream. Your support means everything to us. We love you guys, and we will be back on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be on Clearing the Bases Wednesday night at 8:30. And till then, keep an eye out because we might have some upcoming guests. So keep an eye on the page. And I did give you that hint: Rockies, Pirates, and that's the only clue I'm going to give you because I don't want to jinx it. So hopefully we can get that worked out with that guest. And till then, we will see you. Enjoy your week of baseball and see you.